Hello, and welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty RN channel, where I am passionate about helping victims of all ages and all genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. Because over here we believe that by becoming survivors, we will be able to heal and empower ourselves to become survivors. All right, so that's what we do over here on this here channel, All Around Natural Beauty RN. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. What we have been doing over here since November the 23rd is seeking justice for Shanquella Robinson. We've been standing in agreement, everybody on one accord for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Along the way, we all saw the video. We have 6 names of people. There's some people that believe that it may be 7 or 8. So, along the way, we've been getting, more details. We've been sorting out the details. We've been putting it together, and we have been using math and science. Hope it's good enough. Math and science as a way of being, of keeping everything fair, of staying on task, and keeping everything good and fair. So I'm just excited. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm 52 years old and a proud Gen Xer. A proud Gen Xer and the proud mother of 3 adult children. I see all them hearts, y'all. Thank you so much. I see them hearts. I'm loving it. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Proud Gen Xer, right? And I'm just so grateful to be a Gen Xer, and I know a lot of y'all out there are too. However, I do want to shout out y'all Gen Xer. Somebody had left a comment about being a Gen Xer, and I can't turn my nose up to the Gen X because I got a couple of them. I got a couple of them too, and we're all needed. But the unique thing about we Gen Xers is that we were here before the internet. We was here before the internet. We was here before the cellular was, a household item for three-year-olds. All you have to do is, know how to walk, and you qualify for a cell phone. That's how it is nowadays, right? They're getting younger and younger. Anyway, proud mother of these 3 adult children, 2 XY chromosomes and 1 XX. And it was because of my XX is what gave me, and then me too also being an XX, gave me the passion and wanted to lift my voice to speak on the Shanquella Robinson case. And also it's because I have over 30 years of nursing experience where I worked a lot with spinal cord injury patients. And in the beginning, when we were talking about the injuries that are listed on the death certificate, we noted those injuries to be severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. However, we do see that in these present interviews and these present news stories, they're listing a host of other different injuries and stuff like that. So that's why I'm grateful also that we Gen Xers are here in this area where we have video proof where we can say, nope. Y'all had said back in November that it was XYZ. So you can't come back over here in March and say it's A, B, C, and D. And X, Y, and Q. Can't do that. Cannot do that, right? So I'm just excited. Look at y'all over here showing the love already. One of the things too that we have been doing over here in our chat is we have been standing in agreement and using the umbrella of getting justice for Shanquella Robinson, because we know that there is a problem here in this world with femicide all over the world. And so we believe that by standing together and uniting under the umbrella of justice for Shanquella, that we will be able to leverage that and get justice for past femicides, unsolved cases, and things like that, and also to help significantly decrease future incidents. Because once we make our voice heard, we will simply wash, rinse, and repeat and do the same thing and continue on with it, right? Because it gets easier. And let me just shout out girl Giselle here, who has been submitting, dropping the link for a petition that we have been signing for a while now, seeking justice for Shanquella Robinson, and Giselle has been faithful in doing that. And maybe back in January, I had made an announcement that, I was told, or I was encouraged to, start a petition. But I thought that it would be more practical if we all focused on one instead of having like a bunch of little splashed up petitions. If we focus the energy and everybody, just focus on one. Excuse me, I got a call. Ooh, this pollen. All right. So instead of splashing our efforts out because everyone wants to have their very own petition for Shanquella Robinson, let's get our egos out of this, and make sure that we stand focused on justice for Shanquella Robinson. And that is the most important thing. So it doesn't matter who is the one who has to petition. We all, is more power in the numbers. And I think the petition is up to like 30,000 or something like that, with the goal of getting to 50,000. So instead of me, you, and other people all trying to do that, when Giselle first offered the petition, I think it was like in the teens. And then we got it up to the 20,000 goal or something like that. But anyway, we got that done, and it's still growing. However, it's kind of been at a stagnation, which a lot of things have been at kind of a stagnation, and things are starting to heat up. So now is the time where we have to, it's time to wake up. We've been taking a little rest or nap, kind of preserving our strength, getting ready for the fight of what we're getting ready to do here now. So now it's time to wake up and put on your warrior clothes. Warriors, come out and play. It's time to come out and put the work in and show that we real serious about getting justice for Shanquella Robinson. So Giselle with her petition, we'll be dropping it in the chat somewhere, I know. All right, so all aboard. Welcome to the beauty and beautifuls, to the SWAT squad of Justice for Shanquella Robinson at the All Around Natural Beauty RN, where we do math and science, yes. Convene with the true and moments of speak, yes, because over here we do not do moments of silence. We do moments of speaking, where we're speaking out the names of victims, Shanquella Robinson, and we speak out the name of the abusers, Dejanay Jackson, And along the way, and there's the other Cabo 6 too. Let me just go ahead and call out those names too. Malik Dryers. I'm not good with all the names, y'all. I'm not great with names. Winter Donovan. Watch me get it. Let me stop saying I'm not good. I'm getting better with names. And who's he? Nazir Wiggins. Woo, look at me. I'm on the road. Cabo 6. Okay, so where am I at? 1, 2, 3. Kylie Cook. Woo. That's it, right? No. Somebody else. Elise Hyatt. Look at me go. I hope y'all hitting that like button on your way up in here. Hit the like button on your way up in here. Thank you, Deborah. Deborah says, Natural Beauty, a new video. They laughed at her. What? Shocking new details revealed. Interviews for Shanquella Robinson and Cabo 6. The Pascal Show. But I'm not surprised that they laughed. I'm not surprised. There was a lot of wicked energy going on there. And like I've said before in the past, you want to be aware, stop, look, listen, and feel for negative vibes. And know when people are jealous and envious of you, because it can turn into a rage very quickly. Hey, Jackie, what's going on? So I'm just excited because there were some, gaps, a period in there where the news wasn't reporting on it. And we were left with confusion on what was going on. We were being told, we've been told some lies, we've been told some stories in the beginning, and we would go back to the truth, the math and science to stay on the path. However, some bones and everything was getting off in the midst of all that. But the good news is that the truth always wins. So you just have to be patient and wait and know that the truth will always come in. Why are they doing this? Excuse me for one moment. This here is my Turo trip. I didn't already said that the car is not available. Oh, he booked that one. Okay. All right. Okay, that one is available. I have a Turo business, y'all. So, not only a nurse and all that stuff, I'm also an entrepreneur. And I do promote people being entrepreneurs, especially women, so we can empower ourselves, to make sure that we good and that we're not having to depend on anyone but ourselves, right? Because that's where the power is. The power is within me. And you say that same thing about you. Like I've said before, the most important person in the whole world is you. To you, right? So I'm the most important person in the world to me. Just like when you get on the airplane, they always tell you to put your mask on, your oxygen mask on first before you try to help someone else out. And that is because if you are trying to help somebody out and you haven't helped yourself first, you're going to pass out for the lack of oxygen. And then they're going to pass out because they were counting on you to be able to help them out. So you're not even effective at being helpful to anybody until you yourself is whole. And that's why we're over here talking about healing and becoming survivors, because you cannot help if you were victimized. That is not your fault. If you were a victim, that's not your fault that somebody victimized you. But if you are still here, that means that you have the potential to be a survivor. And you owe it to yourself and the people behind you to become a survivor. And that's what you do. And that's why we don't do moments of silence, because we have been conditioned as victims to keep quiet and hold the secret of these victims. And we see that this very thing is happening right here in the Shanquella Robinson case. It's like people are keeping the secrets from this Dejanay Jackson person that we saw in the video unaliving Shanquella Robinson. And now they want to throw in some new information to try to put doubt in our minds that Dejanay Jackson is responsible. We saw that in the video. We saw the death injuries that were reported on the death certificate being administered by Dejanay Jackson. And that's what we saw. We saw that. All right. So, hey to everyone. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to take our time, right? We're going to take our time. We're going to watch a couple things from, the recent stuff. And then we're going to go back. We're going to go back into our own our own little archives here and, point out the bones and make the connection to who have been putting these bones in from the very start. From the very start. Let's see here if any of my and thank y'all too. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Oh, and hit the bell notification and click all so you'll be notified every time I upload another video. And another thing I wanted to say too is that now that since this thing is getting some attention, and the sad thing is that we know that no one's been arrested. No one's been arrested, and it's been months. And recently, like it's to the point now, like no one plays the video, no one talks about it. So the thing that is the problem with that is that when that happens, people forget. And it's just the same as it being swept under the carpet, swept under the rug. And that's why it's important that we continue to make a big fuss out of this, to continue to gather together. And I love all y'all for checking in. Those of y'all that come by and that's been checking in since the beginning and stuff like that. Making sure. Oh my goodness, making sure that you keep track. Let me just show tell this person how to get up in here. Making sure, I know what I'll do. I'll play y'all a video dance and I'll answer that question for this Turo guest. Ooh, look at here. And then let me see where I found. I see some money. Thank you, Johnny Eris says, "Oh, super sticker. Thank you so much for your super sticker. I'm super duper excited about that. Super duper excited about that. Let me go ahead and bless our chat with our acts of faith, and then I'll play y'all this video. I need to do something here. Acts of faith. Thank you so much. I sure appreciate it. I sure appreciate that. March 24th. We've been reading our acts of faith. Another thing we've been doing over here on for our Justice for Shanquella Robinson is that we've been reading our acts of faith, book by Yana Van Zett, copywritten back in 1993. It's a daily meditation for people of color. However, it's a daily meditation for all people. Once we start to realize that, and unity is really what's happening here. Oh my goodness. I don't know what you're talking about here. Okay, so I'm not going to even worry about that. I'm going to go here. Everybody coming together, joining together, unity and so we don't feel separated and stuff. So it's more power in unity. All right. So Iyanla Vanzant wrote a lot of books in the 90s. All right. She's a yoga priestess, a cultural custodian, and a spiritual life counselor. She is a powerful author. All right. So March 24th, it says, it ain't, is it the 24th? Yeah, 24th. It ain't that I don't believe in God. I just don't trust his judgment. And that's from Terry McMillan from Mama. Terry McMillan is the author too from the 90s. Gen X paper. All right. And then Iyanla says, there are 51 ways to get help from God. Number 1, ask for it. Number 2, believe. 3, recognize help when it comes. 4, listen. 5, obey. 6, love. 7, praise. 8, forgive. 9, be real. 10, seek truth. 11, face yourself. 12, be honest. 13, order. 14, understanding. 15, silence. 16, simplicity. 17, purify. 18, know. K-N-O-W. 19, grace. 20, joy. 21, peace. 22, trust. 23, natural law. 24, balance. 25, harmony. 26, self-sufficiency. 27, dream. 28, self-discovery. 29, right thinking. 30, right action. 31, right reaction. 32, breathe. 33, shut up. 34, be still. 35, feel. 36, live now. 37, friends. 38, parents. 39, children. 40, openness. 41, realization. 42, relaxation. 43, laugh. 44, patience. 45, give. 46, cry. 47, create. Excuse me. 48, judge not. 49, oneness. 50, faith. And 51, surrender. Living in and with the ways of God places you in alignment with the substance of God. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. OMG. Okay, I'm going to get to you, Mr. Turo person over here. All right, so we got some OGs up in the house. Thank y'all OGs for showing up here. Yes. I'm going to get some more of these here. People, OGs, I appreciate all of y'all. So I know y'all been keeping up with some of the news stuff. One of the sad things that I discovered when reading through the letter from the attorneys and the fake statement, fake autopsy report that they received from Mexico, they're just taking it. That's why it's important that, we still got to go back and go over the video and the original stuff. We can't shy away from that and feel like, oh, we can't watch it and all this stuff. That's exactly what they want us to do. And that way we lose the details. And we start accepting this stuff with these new injuries and stuff to, no. All right, so I'm gonna play our first video, and I'm gonna answer this Turo person here. for my business. Let me see here. First thing I want to do is just do like whatever the recent deal is. So let me put that up here. And pause. All right, so I'm going to share the screen with my beauties and beautifuls, right? And tonight I got my coffee. We're gonna have us a good old time. We're gonna take our time and we're gonna go through this. We're gonna like a fine-tooth comb and all that good stuff. So let's see here. Share the screen. And we back it up. Cause I look good, let me back it up. All right, here we go.
For justice continue. Shanquella Robinson's family once again pleading for her suspected killers to be arrested. Robinson died during a trip to Mexico, and a medical examiner said the cause was a broken neck. You'll remember the Robinson family attorneys. All
right, I didn't verify the date. This here is dated. 2 hours ago. Yeah, this is today's date. Somewhere I saw it on there. Just can't point it out to you. All right.
Recently rallied in Washington and wrote a letter to the president and Secretary of State. Today, that same group speaking out at Livingstone College in Salisbury. WCNC Charlotte's Julia Kaufman shares why they want the suspects extradited to Mexico.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
A cry for help, Shanquella's family says, has gone unanswered. Her sister Quilla Long and mother Salamondra Robinson asking why the suspects have not been arrested.
They had a video that went viral. The whole world seen the video, and there's been no arrest since October the 29th. What kind of system is this?
Family attorney Ben Crump argues Mexican authorities have concluded their homicide investigation and have a warrant. So the only thing left to do is extradition.
If America isn't going to prosecute, let's let the Mexican government prosecute. Let's don't stand in the way, not one day longer.
To be extradited, a suspect must first be found and arrested. Then, according to the Department of Justice, approval is needed from federal court and the U.S. Secretary of State. The DOJ says extradition requests can take months and even years to be heard in court.
Why is it taking so long? What is going on? It gets to the point where we have to question our government.
Advocates say this call for justice,
which is true, y'all, because think about it. I didn't need to do that. Go back over here. I was trying to do this. Think about it. This here happened October 29th, and the news, we started talking about it in November. I want to say like November the 17th. I learned about it on like the 23rd. I was a little late, on it. And here we are, the end of March, and nobody has been arrested, right? And they're still trying to let Mexico lead the way, right?
Happening at an HBCU when Shanquella also went to an HBCU is on purpose.
We must remember that Black lives matter.
That's right. Amen. That's right. Amen.
And the justice for Black lives matters.
To further their calls for equal justice and help from the State Department, Crump says he plans to meet with the U.S. Senate's Foreign Relations Committee and White House officials sometime after April 1st.
Okay.
Julia Kaufman, WCNC Charlotte.
All right, so that's good to know. April is coming up sometime here. Let me see. I think this is just the writing of it. Excuse me. Yeah, let's see here. Mexico authorities have already concluded an investigation. All right, so if we go back to the beginning, we will see that in the beginning, Mexico said that it was alcohol poison. Y'all remember that? Mexico in the beginning, back in November, said alcohol poison and that they had ruled out any foul play, right? Y'all remember that? Hopefully somebody remembered that in the beginning, Mexico said that this was alcohol poison and they had ruled out foul play, right? They said that back in November sometime when the story first came out. All right, so it is very smart to be suspicious of this autopsy report that they put out that's dated for October 30th. It's October 30th. And if we go back to the old videos on October 30th, they didn't even know where the body was. They were still being detectives. The father and his brother, he said in an interview, they were trying to locate the body. So how is it that Mexico, the Attorney General, right? This is law, right? Have a detailed autopsy report dated the 30th, hours after receiving the body. Hours after receiving the body. I'm going to be fair and pull up the little document, not the little document. I think it was over 20 pages. It was the little document, not the little document. Sorry, y'all. All right, so I have to get back over there. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna pull that little document up. It ain't a little document. It's a it was long, but I just thought it was something to be suspicious about. That all these months went by and Mexico never reviewed this whole autopsy, this very detailed autopsy report where they're talking about all these clothes and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to pull that up so I can point the bones out in that and show y'all why those are lies there. Why those are lies. As soon as I find it. Why those are lies. I think this is it. Or did I should have saved it. Let me see here. Why those are lies. Why? Yes, here we go. All right, so let me share the screen again. This here was the back March 13th. March 13th, this was the document, is the document that Shanquella's lawyer, let me pull it up on this one, make it a little bit bigger. Shanquella's lawyers, Benjamin L. Crump and Sue Ann Robinson, Esquires, wrote this, a letter to the president. They wrote a letter and then they attached this. This is what they got from Mexico. Sue Ann went on a fact-finding expedition and retrieved this. This item here, we saw this on, a few other content creators' videos. So getting this here document, it's no big to do. We've seen this, right? We've seen this here document. This is a document that Nazir points out that he did not sign. However, or he said this wasn't his signature. I was going to say, however, here's the signature right there. But he's saying that he's disputing that this is his signature. The few things on this here document that kind of stands out to me, not kind of, but stands out to me is that there's a space here missing for a number one person. And then we have the 7 here that all have been identified. And then when we go down into this here document, this is more stuff from Mexico, right? Mexico put this out, this interview, put out an interview dated November the 19th. Who remembers what day the video of Shanquella being attacked came out, right? Somewhere up in this area here, November 19th, somewhere up in there, right? So it's, here we go. Now they have, they have this, right? But look when they dated it, right? When the viral video comes out. And this here is the witness, right? Now remember, they had already said alcohol poison ruled out any foul play. However, they're here stating some stuff here. Let's see here. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna have to read out a few of these things here. This here is from Baja California Sur State Attorney General's office, right? That's what this is from. This here is supposedly the interview dated November the 11th. All right, so this here's the information about the interviewer. This is Santiago Miguel Mariquin Gonzalez, and he is the team chief of the homicide unit. And then they blacked out the name of the person being interviewed. However, they are a 39-year-old male. Here. All right, so this here person says, I am the administrator of the Villa Casa Linda number 32, Colonial La Playa, Residencial, Puerto Los Cabos, Francimiento, Honduras Beach Club, Cali, Padre, Quino, Esquina, Padre Gillian in San Jose del Cabo, Baja California Sur. Where I have worked for more than a year and a half. Once I observed on my cell phone the video circulating in social networks where two of the guests who had registered in the villa appear, where one of them dressed in pajamas with shorts and blouse, possible colors pink. Okay, so here we can see this part here. This is how you can tell it's a story, right? Because the lies always need an introduction, and you need to be prepared for the lie. So they need to stage it. They need to give you a summary, right? And here's the summary. He's saying, once I observed on my cell phone, the video circulating in social network where two of the guests, and then he's given this big old description with the pajamas and the shorts and the blouse, possible color pink and white with black and light colored cap, appears hitting another female person who was naked, right? So again, here we got them agreeing that Shanquella was naked, right, on the video. The one who is hitting the other is the person named Dejanay Jackson, whom I identified because I served as a translator on the day of the events when the authorities were in the village conducting the proceedings. In the video, it can be seen that the headboard is illuminated. So how are they talking about this on November the 19th, about the headboard being illuminated? Why are those details coming out, right? This shows me that they are answering the questions that we YouTubers put out there on the videos afterwards. Because this is nothing, why would you think this is a detail? Why would this be part of your interview on November the 11th. Why would anybody be concerned with this here time? All right, let me keep on reading here. All right, and look how it just jumps from it, just boom, go right on to it. Like I put the little facts out there, and now we're about to go off into how I know what time it was, right? What kind of an interview is that? What kind of an interview is that? All right, so, he just hops off into that. In the video, it can be seen that the headboard is illuminated by the sun's rays. And due to the location of the sun's rays, I can deduce. I'm sorry. You mean to tell me that this person said they can deduce the time of the video because of the headboard being illuminated? They felt that was something to say back in November. Why? What does that do? Why would that be a detail that they just put off in their mind to remember? Right? Because no one was questioning the time at that time. Nobody was questioning the time. So why would that be part of the interview dated November the 19th? Baloney. All right, so here we go. The headboard is illuminated by the sun rays, and due to the location of the sun's rays, I can deduce that it is between 7 and 8:30 a.m. since the bedroom 1 and 3 are waterfront, and it is easy to deduce the morning schedule since the sun rises on the seaside, illuminating those rooms. That is the room number 3, because that is the only one that has a hammock outside of it, and the hammock can be seen in the video. Also, after 10 a.m., the sun rays begin to reflect towards the floor of the bedroom. Since there are some pre-goals on the outside of the room, I can also say that in the villa, both the sunrise and sunset are very annoying. For that reason, the owner decided to place wood on the window to prevent the sun rays from entering. I know this because I am the administrator of the villa, and on my occasion, I have been in the room at that time in the morning. Finally, I wish to state that the villa was reserved from October 28th to October 31st, 2022, and that's all I wish to state. Now, what does this statement says nothing. Like, what does that have to, this is not a statement of what happened that day. Nothing. So this statement doesn't even make sense because it's future. It's futurely answering questions that weren't around, that weren't needing to be answered. Like, what is this here is what? Okay. Let me get back over here and get some of these here comments. I wanted to show y'all that because we didn't see this until March. We didn't see this document until March. So Mexico had a whole lot of time to put this out, and it's contradicting of what they initially said. So look here, I got some OGs up in the house here. What's up, PM Channel? PM Channel says hello at All Around Attribute RN moderators all in the chat. Yes. And C Reeves is in the house. All right, good to see you down there, C Reeves. A member also says hello, gorgeous RN mod and chats. Miss y'all. Yes, we have all been missing one another. So thank y'all so much Betty says, hey, C, what's going on? What's going on? We got some more greetings back and forth there. All right. Lila says, are these from Iana Van Zet? Or what? This here is the acts of faith, what we just read earlier. I'm not sure which one you are talking about. What's up, Karen? Karen says, hello, all around natural beauty, mods, and chat. Okay, so that was probably some of the hearts. Here's some pink waving hands. It's one of those emojis that don't show up here on the screen. Just stopping through to say, all right. Hey, hopefully. What's up, Sylvia? Sylvia is saying hey. And Kyrania in the house. What's going on? What is it all about? What's up, little Jessica? All right, so I'm just excited. What do y'all think about the statement that these people that worked at the villa, whom in the beginning back in November was being reported that that it was a payoff, that they had paid the police and paid the people off at the villa and stuff for this here cookie cutter excuse that we also learned that they utilize quite frequently there in Mexico, this here alcohol intoxication excuse. La Jessica, what's going on? Says, hey, Karen, said Sylvia and Kyron saying hey to everybody. All right, so we got some more greetings over there. All right, so that's that thing that don't show up there. La Jessica said they closed it as cardiac arrest. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So that means now I'm gonna have to go on back over here to this document because it's gonna be all full of contradictions. That is so true. They did say, yes, I remember that. Hey, what's going on? Tammy says if she wasn't Black, they would be on it, SWAT team and all. Yeah, and that's what we've been saying. That's why we say over here, we want to stand up for victims, and we know that women are victims, and then Black women too are even at a higher rate as far as like not getting things done, when we happen to fall into the victim category over here. Yep. Being a Black woman, it's it's a tough. It's tough. And see, Tamika says, I remember that being said. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, y'all. It's so important to go back to the beginning, because when they told you, when we, when they set the parts, then that's what it is. You can't change it later, because we still remember the first story. We still got that on the video. We still got that in writing. But that's the thing about a lie, because you don't, since it's a lie, you're not recognizing that some of your lies will contradict the other lies. Hey, what's going on, Cynthia? Cynthia says she remembered too. I remember. That's right. Yes, that was mighty fast. Exactly. All right. So one of the reasons why I feel like it was super fast and that makes it suspicious is because, first of all, how are they going to do an autopsy on an unclaimed body? Who gave the permission, right? They had the family hadn't even located the body. They were still looking, right? They were still looking. And then according to other stories, they didn't actually retrieve the body until that night. So how they got a whole autopsy finally detailed the next morning. Who paid for it, right? Who requested it? on a foreign body that hadn't even been claimed, right? They already got the autopsy report, super sad. What's up, Chinyere? And see, hey, Miss RN, all right. All right, so we got some more people greeting one another's up in there. So I'm gonna get back over here to this here document, and just so we can see the utter ridiculousness in this whole phony baloney story here. Right, so that was this person's story, and look how it's all chopped up, and that's all I got to say about that. Right, look at why did they gave these details there, and then that's it. Right, they said nothing about they said nothing about what happened. What kind of an interview is that? All right, so then the next interview is dated November the 17th. So this here is actually 2 days prior to the previous one that we just read. All right, so let's see here. This here, the interviewer name is Sony Jasil Papaco Million. All right. And they're with the specialized unit for investigations of miscellaneous crimes and its jurisdictions, criminal justice, located at Sila Palo de Arco y Pablo Espeta. And this here is from the Baja California State's Attorney General Office. Again, right? That's them again. All right, so now we come on down here, and this here says, this is my statement. And this here is, whose statement is this? Oh, they didn't do the name. This here is a 41-year-old male, right? And this here says, this is my statement given to investigation agent Sony Jessel Popco Million in reference to the facts that are being investigated today after informing me the reason for my presence and the interview. I have been employed by blank or Cabo Villas in the United States, where I work as concierge in attention to customer service. I provide service, assistance with doubts. Assistance with doubts. What does that mean? Assistance with doubts. Any service that is needed for approximately 3.5 years. This person has provided assistance with doubts, any service that is needed. They've done that for 3.5 years. Excuse me. On October 28th, I had been informed of the arrival of some guests to the villa. Hold on. Oops. I hope I muted that. I thought I muted it. I don't think I clicked the right button. Oops. Excuse me. I wasn't trying to cough in y'all's ear, but I thought I muted it, but I just realized I clicked the wrong button there. Y'all heard all of that. All right. Let me get back over here to this here story. All right. So let me see here. Where am I at? Oh, on October 28th, 2022, I had been informed of the arrival of some guests to the Villa Casa Linda 32, which is located in Padre Quino, Puerto Fonda Rosa, Puerto Rico, Los Cabos, San Jose del Cabo, and Cali Padre Gillian. I wonder if that's any relation to these two interviewers have this same name. This here Gilliam. All right. I just, it's my second time to read through this, but first time to make this notation of these names all matching. All right, let me get back down here. I wonder if they have some type of, all right. The day before I was sent the work schedule of the villa that we are to take care of as concierge. So I knew that the guests of the Casa Linda Villa would arrive around 3 p.m. on October 28th, 2022. The main guest was Dejanay Jackson. The main guest was Dejanay Jackson with phone number, blah, 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 blah. They didn't, who contacted me around noon by text message to report that the flight had been delayed due to the weather and that she would be telling me her new arrival time. Now, all these details, what does this have to do with what happened, right? Why are they putting all these details in here? This to me shows how they are, trying to throw Dejanay Jackson under the bus, right? They have put it, they're about to blame shift. She is about to be the scapegoat for this, right? Look at all this, how it's all indicating, it's all pointing, boom, pointing to you, right? And, all we need is that video. We can see that, it's clearly, being pointed to the right person, of course. But I just find it interesting here that you can see, this story, how it's all set up here to point the finger at Dejanay. The main client was Dejanay Jackson, right? So let's see, in the text message, they putting all this here, showing the little pattern here, right? Got text message thread here, that her flight had been delayed due to weather and that she would be telling me her new arrival time, confirming me that it would be at 17:19. Then that's 5:19. Then she asked me if after arriving and taking the transportation, she could stop to do some shopping, to which I responded that there is no problem. Then she told me that she would be letting me know the time they were going to arrive. She texted me when they left the shopping center. She arrived at the Casa Linda around 8 p.m. I had arrived at the villa about 15 minutes before, and upon entering, I see a person of slim build, Afro-American, about 1.75 meters tall, about 25 to 30 years old, to whom I introduced myself since he'd asked me who I was. I told him that I was his concierge and that I will be supporting his vacation in everything he needs. Also at the villa were chef blah 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 and waiter blah blah, who are employees of the company blah blah and co-workers. Moments before, when I saw the guests, I was surprised since I wasn't aware that there were guests already at the villa, to which the chef told me that two people, a couple, had arrived at the villa a few hours before. However, I only saw the male guests described above. I prepared the registration sheets. The information I have to provide to the client. Okay, so he's saying that it was two people there, right? So I go back up here. Maybe where's the other one? Right? There's one blank space here. And if these folks, it was 2 there prior, you know, who are the 2? Who are the 2? Let me see where I'm at. Okay, so all right, so the 2 people, I say I prepare, okay. Let's see, have to provide to the client guacamole. This is the list here: guacamole, tortilla chips, margaritas. And I waited for the main client, who arrived almost immediately in Trans Cabo's transport. They got off with their groceries, bottles of alcohol, and tequila, put down their suitcase, started taking pictures of the villa. They looked excited. In total, 5 people arrived. 5 people arrived. So 5 plus the 2, that still only put 7. That's accounted for on that list. 3 women, 2 of them African American, and 1 between Afro American and mixed Latina of them. The main one named Dejanay Jackson, who is of sturdy build. Who is of sturdy build. Like, why are these details in here, right? Because if we go digging back up in the crates on these here videos, you know, they were calling Dejanay Jackson a man. So now all of a sudden, since, you know, it had to be the hush hush on calling Dejanay Jackson a man, they're now indicating it in other ways. Who is of sturdy build, tall, dark skin with a thick voice. Yeah, it was Dejanay Jackson with bare hands. Okay, let me go back. Sounds like Clue, right? Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Sturdy build, thick voice. She was accompanied by 2 male guests of African American descent, both of slim build. One of them had dreadlocks. I introduced myself to the main guest, Miss Jackson, as her concierge and welcomed her. I asked her if she would like to see the villa and show her to her rooms, along with some of her guests or friends, to decide who would stay in the rooms. We returned to the dining room to sign the documents, which consist of guest registration, insurance included in the villa, and residential complex rules, and provide a copy of each one of them, registering the following: Khalid Cook, Malik Dreyer, Winter Donovan, Shanquella Robinson, Elise Hyatt, Dejanay Jackson, Nazir Wiggins. Okay, that was it. It says illegible. Investigation agent Sony Jacel Popka Million in this act. What? All right. The main guest stayed in the master bedroom, which is located at the end of the living room. There are 2 rooms, and at the end of the kitchen is a TV or entertainment room. Then an access with an open area which connects 3 more rooms. The first room on the left is waterfront, and the other room on the right also waterfront, and the third room, which is a double, not waterfront, being this at the end of the garage. So, do y'all think that there could have been... Oh, I was reading that. Y'all didn't see. I was reading this here document, y'all. I promise. Y'all saw I was reading, and y'all seen the document before. But I apologize that it was not visible over here for y'all to see. Anyway, so I read all the way down to here. And we're on this here page here. But what I was gonna ask was that since Dejanay Jackson is this person here that they're saying is the main guest, do y'all think there was some problems with who was gonna pick what room, especially in the beginning when they were saying that Shanquella had paid for everything? Like I don't know. What y'all thinking? Let me get up here and get some more of these here. Oh, look at, I got some old people from way back in the day. All right, let's see here. Okay, here goes some more folks. Let me get on down here. And what's up, Karen? Karen says, hi, RN mods in chat. I hit the like button on the way in. Thank you so much. I like that. Hit the like button on your way in here. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Cynthia. All right, says hello, Natural Beauty and everyone. I'm sleeping. Okay. Appreciate you for being here, having us in your dreams, right? All in my dreams. All right, so we got some more OGs up here. I saw another OG. What's up? Lena says, yes, they are repeating us. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're listening, and this document to me shows how they're trying to address the questions that were brought up. But, they're doing it in a way that's making it obvious because November 17th, those questions, weren't addressed. They weren't brought up. So these answers are premature. Premature. Melanie B says, I don't believe what the concierge says. Yes, he said hi to Shanquella and she didn't speak, didn't fit in. She was upbeat when she was looking for the others in the house and playing the game. Exactly. That's a good point, Melanie B. And we're going to see that too, because I think it's coming up in the rest of this document. That is right. And two, it's a good point because just like, recently I've been pushing, this statement that was one of Shanquella's last words when she said, keep it hot. She said she gonna keep it hot, right? So that's what we've been doing over here. We've been keeping it hot for Shanquella. And you're right, she was on the video. She was the only one that was attempting to show having a good time there with the whole drink and all of that stuff. And even with the playing the drinking game with the push-ups and all that stuff, she was the only one that had the upbeat energy. You are so right. And thank you for making that statement, Melanie B. And Chinue says, justice for Shanquella. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's see some more folks up here. We got more people saying justice. Here we go, Coffee Girl. What's up, Coffee Girl? And she's saying a greetings and a hello to Shanquella. C. Reeves says, Mexico crooked. All about the Benjamins. Yep. Yep. I totally agree with you. And then, like I said, just like the concierge say, they do all kind, they do everything. So, doubtful stuff. Let's see. Karen says, I'm sorry, I meant to say stopping by to say hi. All right. We felt you up on there. I think I felt you up on there. All right. So let's see here. All right. So we're going to get back over there because Melanie B brought up an excellent point. Excellent point. I had caught that too when I read it the first time. Sylvia says she hadn't been alive 24 hours before the autopsy. Unbelievable. Thank you. Thank you. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. That's what I'm saying. They messed up on the date. They was too busy trying to paint the picture, to point the finger, at one person that they must, I don't know, did they forget that, we had all this history already and, that y'all had already ruled it out, ruled out any type of, funny business, and that it was indeed, alcohol poison and went into cardiac arrest after 14 rounds of CPR with adrenaline and 6 shocks. Right? But we're going to get to that a little bit later, too. I agree with you. Unbelievable, right? Sounds like a dry bologna sandwich. Okay, so we back over here. It says, I went to the room of the main client, Miss Jackson, to mention to her that dinner was ready since 20 hours and that if it needed to be extended, they would be charged an extra hour, which she did not agree to, and sent everyone to dinner since everyone was sitting in her room. Right? So here we go with more painting of the picture. Right? So this here showing us that they letting us know that this heifer was in there plotting, right? That she was the ringleader. Everybody was in her room, right? And I'm sure they saw that on the video that was out there showing Shanquella walking through the village saying, where y'all hoes at? It don't take that long to get naked, right? And she comes in there and they're all in the room. All in the room, which to me, I believe it was Dejanay's room because she was pointing to the swimsuit that was in a luggage, right? And so it would lead me to believe that the luggage, her luggage would be in her room and she wouldn't be pointing to luggage, her luggage in someone else's room. However, that room did not look like, the master room or the main room, which they call it nowadays. All right, let me get back over here. And okay, so since everyone was sitting in her room, minutes later, they all sit at the table and begin to drink a lot. That is when I met Miss Shanquella, who was the last one to approach the table to celebrate. Noticing in her strange, illegible attitude, she seemed not to fit in with the others. Now, why is that part of someone's statement? That's hearsay, right? Why would that be part of the statement? But they are putting this out here to set the stage. This wouldn't even, how would this be part of someone's statement? She didn't seem to fit in. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's indicating, it's I mean, it's almost laughable, right? Do you see? Right? See, so, and it doesn't match with the videos that we have seen with Shanquella playing the drinking game, Shanquella walking through, getting ready to do the skinny dip deal, Shanquella at the dinner with the drink. You know what I mean? Not, come on. All right, so here we go again with pointing the finger and painting the picture, right? Says, she seemed not to fit in with the others. When I introduced myself, she did not greet me or smile. She was indifferent. What? And that's part of a statement from November the 17th. Why is that being said? Like, why do they think that that's important to know? Right? Why would that be part of the statement? Nothing to do with the atmosphere of celebration. She was out of place at that party. I made sure that they were seated, having dinner, sharing and celebrating, and that they had the information for the internet, the audio, the operations of the house. Once everything was ready, I left. All the clients, chef blank with the phone number blank and waiter blank with phone number blank stayed in the place. So, is he saying that the chef and the waiter stayed there? The next day at 1:50 or 1:52. All right, again, when they do these, these extra details, these are more indications of lies. All right. The next day at 1:50 or 1:52, I received a text message from the main guest, Miss Jackson, asking me if I am available and which was the nearest medical service. I greeted her and asked her how I could support her and if she was looking for a hospital. She answered yes. I think my friend has alcohol poisoning and needs emergency service and someone to speak or translate in Spanish for us. All right, here go the bone right here. She says, I think my friend has alcohol poisoning and needs emergency service. She said she needs emergency service. So why did the concierge, who does all wonders, who knows how to get the job done right, if the client asked for emergency service, why did you send a non-emergency physician there to attend to the client's request of emergency services? Right? This happens when you are putting out lies. Right? Parts of the truth get up in here. Or you forget some of the details because you're too busy trying to paint other details like this 150 or 152, right? Then you didn't realize you just did a Freudian slip here and said that you needed, that they asked for emergency service, right? That's what it said right here. Need emergency service and someone to speak or translate in Spanish for us. I offered to send her a doctor so he could determine if it was necessary to go to the hospital, and I told her that the doctor speaks English. She answers yes. Now he's saying here that the doctor is he. I offered to send her a doctor so he could determine if it was necessary to go to a hospital, and I told her that the doctor speaks English. If someone is asking for emergency service, you call emergency service. Why would you send the doctor over there to find out if it's an emergency? When there's an emergency, you just call 911, right? I know it's different in different countries or whatever like that, but an emergency is an emergency. So you're going to delay the time to send a doctor over there to make a second assessment when the person states that they need emergency service, right? So more lies, right? Because now they got to paint the picture here that they received false information, right? So nobody is doing their job correctly. If someone is saying they need emergency, you're calling 911. You're not trying to see if there's a way to see if maybe they don't need emergency or not, because you don't know what it is. Your first initial instinct is to get them emergency help, right? You're not trying to, no. Baloney. All right. All right, so here we go. Back down here. She said, yes, please. I tell her that it costs $100 for the visit plus the medicine. I ask if she agrees, and she answers yes, as soon as possible. I tell her that I will make the call to request the service, to which she answers, yes, please. Around 2 p.m. on October 29th, 22, I called Dr. Blank, who is our contact for medical attention of our guest and whose telephone number is blank. All right, so it took 8 minutes for him to do the call. All right, so we're moving on down. It says, and in about 4 minutes, Ms. Jackson texted me asking me what I had been told, and I answered her that a doctor is going to contact her to check her friend, and she replies, okay. Attached to this document is the screenshot. It's the screenshot of the conversation with Miss Jackson and she asked me for medical help. And the conversation is recorded on 3 letter-sized sheets of paper attached here, too. At 4:25, Blank texted me and told me that the girl has to be hospitalized because after being evaluated, she has to be hospitalized, and that her friends were finding out if they had insurance. Okay, so 16:25 is 4:25, right? So at 1:50, where is it? At 1:50, right here. At 1:50 or 1:52, the concierge is getting this text from Dejanay saying she needs emergency service, right? So are you saying that the doctor didn't get there until almost 2.5 hours later at 16:25, and saying that the person needs to be hospitalized? And they worried about insurance? I don't believe that. I don't believe that if someone is needing hospitalization, if there is an emergency, that they are making you wait for insurance. So what happened with this 2-hour gap, right? If someone's, needing an emergency, 2 hours it's a long time to wait. A long time to wait. So I'm not sure if the doctor was there and they were doing some, maybe they were doing their rounds of CPR or something like that. But anyway, there's a 2-hour gap here where what was being taken place here, right? What's going on here? That the doctor is reporting back to the concierge, right? They want us to believe that the physician is reporting back, asking permission from not only the Cabo 6, but also the concierge, which none of them have any type of medical training. There is no place where a physician with all of its education is going to ask lay people who aren't doctors anything. These are lies. Lies. All right. So at 16:25, Blank texted me and told me that the girl it doesn't say the doctor. This says Blank. Blank texted me and told me that the girl has to be hospitalized because after being evaluated, she has to be hospitalized, and that the friends were finding out if they had insurance, to which I asked if she is in serious condition, and the doctor said no. The doctor said no. The doctor said no, but that she does need an IV, that she is practically unconscious. So how can the doctor say no, but she's practically unconscious? This makes no sense. Unconscious is an emergency. You're supposed to be conscious. That is a normal state. Practically unconscious. That's how you could tell it's a lie. Practically. If the person is practically unconscious, how can it not be an emergency? Why would a physician say that a practically unconscious person is not serious, is not a serious condition? Right? Can y'all see that? Right? There's no physician anywhere that would say something ridiculous like that. How is it not serious, but they're practically unconscious? That's serious. The normal state of people is to be conscious. All right? Says she's practically unconscious, and that was why she had to be hospitalized. So being hospitalized is serious, right? So here are just contradictions right there in this little cluster. If you need to be hospitalized, that means that's serious business, right? Because you can be super sick and go to the doctor's office and they can give you medication and prescriptions and stuff, but they don't admit you to the hospital. Needing to be hospitalized is serious. There's never a time that needing to be hospitalized is not serious. This doesn't even sound like something a doctor would say. No, it's not serious. She just needs to be hospitalized. But it ain't serious, right? All right. You just need to be hospitalized, but it's not serious. She just needs to be hospitalized. Later, the administrator blank with telephone number blank called me to ask if I requested an ambulance for the villa. So why are they going through the third parties for everything? No one there had a cell phone that was capable of calling for an ambulance. They had to do third party, go back through the concierge to ask the concierge to call the ambulance, right? Okay. Okay. Y'all following with me here to see how this is a whole dry bologna sandwich? All right. So they called me to ask if I requested an ambulance for the villa. I told him no. He tells me that security of Puerto Los Cabos is asking him about the request and access of the ambulance in Casa Linda number 32. Later, Blank called me to tell me that the guest had died. Wow. And asked me to go there as soon as possible that he is already on his way to help in whatever he can. I went to Puerto Los Cabos from Cabo San Lucas after having spoken with blank. All right, so right there, when somebody dies and what? They just, you just die and there's, nobody, where did the body, they just left the body there. Who pronounced? So the person died, they left the body there, and the concierge is someone who has to come there to what? Identify, like, why are they calling for the concierge to come over there? Why is there some type of hidden agenda here? Like, why is this not led up the chain of commandments there? Like, the ambulance came, right? And they have a deceased patient. So what? They just leave there? Or do they, there's some protocols, I'm sure, somewhere in there. So what happened there? Why is the concierge having to come back there, right? He's coming back here to do his doubtful duties, huh? What are you coming back there for? All right, it says, having spoken, okay, upon arrival at the villa, I find a couple of municipal police officers talking to blank in the parking area of the house. So he's saying he saw a couple of municipal police officers. He saw police officers there in the parking area of the house. And one of the guests, who was an African-American descent, regular build, short hair, was coming and going from the house and calling by cell phone a relative or friend in the United States using a translator. Now, how did they know who this African-American person, descent, regular build, short hair, was calling? How do they know they were calling a relative or a friend in the United States? I also saw the main client, Miss Jackson, making contact with the male guest on several occasions, entering and leaving the house during the time I'm waiting for blank to tell me what to do. Okay, so my question is, why are the police there? Why are the police there? Why are the police there if this isn't a crime scene? Why are the police there? And if the police are there, they're saying that the police was there. The police were there and saw Shanquella's body, and they let this go. They are further incriminating themselves here in Mexico by showing that they let them get away with everything. Why are the police there? If there's the ambulance, if you call the ambulance for a known medical emergency, they're not sending the police. The police don't come out when you call for an ambulance. Why are the police here? Why are the police here? Right up in here says, I find a couple of municipal police officers talking to blank in the parking area of the house. So the police was here and they saw Shanquella's body. They saw her injured body and they let the people go. Mexico is admitting that the police were there. I find a couple of municipal police officers. All right. So this is how we can see all these lies. Look at all these lies up in here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Says, I also saw the main client, Miss Jackson, making contact with the male guest and on several occasions entering and leaving the house. During this time, I am waiting for blank to tell me what to do since he are my concierge team leaders. So I entered the house. When I initially observed the guest, relaxed, calm, sitting in the living room area. So why is all this part of the statement? Why do you have to say that the guest was relaxed, calm, sitting in the living room area near the bar and dinner table, right? When just a couple of sentences up here, it sounds like they are not agitated, but they are anxious, right? Up here it says, saw this one with regular built short hair making a phone call to a relative. You know, this sounds like anxiety up here, right? Then up here, Dejanay pacing back and forth, basically walking in and out of the house, right? Now all of a sudden, you come in and they relax, calm, sit in the living room. Make up your mind. Are they anxious or are they calm and relaxed? Near the dining room table, okay? All right. Now, it says, my purpose was to look for the main guest, Miss Jackson, and give her my condolences. When I talked to her, I gave her my condolences. She thanked me and told me that they had talked to her friend's mother and mentioned that this was so fast to lose her in an instant for having had too much alcohol. I asked her if I could give her a hug, to which she said yes. All right, so here we go, some more of this indication here, right? All right, so why are we saying this? Why is this part of this here statement, right? Unless you're trying to paint a picture of somebody. I asked her if I could give her a hug, to which she said yes. And she gave me a very indifferent hug, very cold. I saw a very sad guest, a skinny girl, and I saw that she was in pain. I left that area and stayed outside the main guest entrance to give them space to mourn and grieve. Minutes later, I heard laughter. Wow, right? Minutes later, I heard laughter. He said, stayed outside to give them the time to grieve. Minutes later, I heard laughter. I approached blank, who told me to leave, to go back to my villa in Cabo San Lucas, that he will be in charge of the following up and supporting the clients and the authorities. I said goodbye to the clients and I left for Cabo San Lucas. Later, around 21 or 23, at 9 or 9:30, the main guest contacted me to request transportation to go to dinner because they had not eaten anything all day due to the situation. So I called blank with phone number blank, who owns Lands End Transfer, requesting transportation for the clients of Villa Linda 32 to San Jose to go to dinner because they had not eaten anything. Again, here we go with more of these details, right? Okay, so here it is at 9:30, right? So the police was there, and if these people are still free at 9 or 9:30 to request some services to go to dinner, that means that they let them go. They saw Shanquella's body and they let the people go. They put in here that there was police officers there. Police were there. All right, so here it is, 9:30, and they still free. They free. All right. And they're getting some assistance here. They're getting assistance here. All right, so transfer requesting transportation for the clients because they haven't eaten. The driver advised of his departure from Villa Linda 32 to San José del Cabo to find a restaurant for dinner. At the end of the service, the driver blank with phone number blank reported via message on the WhatsApp chat of the Lands End Transfer group that the service had ended and that he had left the guest at the airport hotel. The next day, blank called me to tell me that the maid was reporting that wait a minute. Woo! Okay. So, wait a minute. Let me finish. So, all right. So, this better not be saying that the maid reporting the body, because if the police and the ambulance and the doctor, so what did they do? They just left Shanquella and here. Let me finish reading here. This is too funny. All right. So, let me see here. All right. So, the next day, where is that here? The next day, Blank called me to tell me that the maid was reporting that there was no one in the villa. Okay. That if I had been notified that they were leaving, to which I replied that no, that the day before they had only requested transportation to the center. So later around 11 in the morning, I sent a message to Miss Jackson to offer my support, asking if everything is okay and if there was anything I could do for it, without getting a response until the next day, Monday, October 31st, when she texted me asking if she had to do anything else for checkout. If she had to sign anything, I could email it to her as they had already left. Later, she asked me for the property manager's number, so minutes later, I sent it to her. Days later, I found out that there is a lot of controversy because of the news and the video of the main guest, Miss Dejanay Jackson, hitting her friend Shanquella, the guest who died. When I saw the video in social media, I realized that practically the main guest, Miss Jackson, had manipulated me with the information she provided of what happened to leave the country as soon as possible. It should be noted that she put the name Nazir Wiggins as the last person on the guest list or registry. Woo! Throw it under the bus. Okay, so that's their two statements there. Let me move on back over here and see how y'all feeling about that. All right, so I don't know. Sounds like a bologna sandwich to me, because this totally contradicts, what Mexico was saying back in November, the end of November and end of December, with the maid found the body and all that stuff. So now, they didn't even address what happened to the body over here, that, police was involved, but, all this old stuff over here. I see here. LaJessica she's saying, hey to Miss Coffee Girl. Let's see here. What y'all saying? Y'all saying anything over here? Don't make me laugh. I know. I'm trying not to. It's these stories. This is making me laugh. Unalive. Yes. All right. Yes, I thought that's strange too. I thought an autopsy had to be requested by the family. Exactly. Right? Exactly. So the next part that we're about to get to is going to be the so-called autopsy, which is going to be full of hysterical bones in there also. Let's see here. Karen says, Coffee Girl, hey, I need your input. May I give you my email? Okay, honey. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. Let's see here. And more haze and all that stuff to everybody. What's up, Jacqueline? Jacqueline says, hey, at Melanie B. I think the concierge may have gotten Quilla and Elise mixed up. They were both thin. Also at dinner, wasn't Elise the last one to come to the table and not Quilla? Yeah. To me, it's like they're trying to paint this picture, right? To show like, oh, look, see, it was set up. Like this girl was singled out and stuff like that. Their whole story just seems, staged. Like they're trying to point the finger and make Dejanay the scapegoat and to show like, look, we got manipulated. But y'all stupid. Y'all stupid. All of y'all, if the police was there, stupid police, saw this body that's been brutalized and did nothing. The doctor, the dumb doctor who saw this body and did nothing, right? So we know that this couldn't have been real doctor or real police because they didn't do a real job. And we know a doctor would have never done any of those things. A doctor wouldn't have done that asking what to do on something. It's a doctor, a physician with over 12 years of learning. All right, so let me see what y'all saying over here. Then we're gonna finish up this here autopsy from Baja California, sir, Attorney General. So since when Attorney General's doing autopsies? When they start doing these medical autopsies, right? So I guess they, was doing law school and med school at the same time. At the same damn time. PM Channel says, I think they are continually trying to confuse us with little bits of information. I question everything coming out of Mexico. There are so many pages still missing, fabricated lies. I agree with you. That's why I say it's important, to stick to the facts in the beginning, when the thing first came out, right? When all we had to go on, the death certificate listed 2 injuries as the cause of death, right? So keep that in mind when I go over reading this here autopsy from this from the Attorney General office. Coffee Girl saying, sure, if you are okay. Okay, I keep coming out with y'all stuff. Here we go. All right, so some emojis and all that good stuff. Chin is giving up some emojis and love and all that good stuff too. Let's see here. What's up, Julie? Julie says, always on board for justice for Shanquella. Greetings, RN. What's going on, Julie? All right. Melanie B says, oh, Jacqueline, I know that didn't even sound like Shanquella person. Exactly, right? Yeah, so they busy trying to paint their picture. That's why I'm saying, like, if you stick into the facts, right? So, they can't fool us with this baloney stuff when we already know. What's up, Cookie for XO, for love, right? At Jacqueline Davis, that's possible. However, remember, he said later there was one girl who was disturbed by the death. I think that would have been Elise, so he knew the drift. Yeah. See, Karen says, that's who, Sylvia Black says, hey there. Okay, another emoji that doesn't show up here. I need your input. All right, there we go. Karen getting some inputs up in here. Sylvia is agreeing to your input. Let's see. I hate there isn't a better way to share personal info at Karen. Let's see here. Karen Jordan says, RN, that is the name of the person doing the interview for each of them. The witness name has been blacked out. Right. That's what I thought I said, that one person, this here, let me move back over so y'all can see what I'm doing. This person, the Sonny is the person doing the interview, and this person, Santiago Miguel Mariquin, is the person doing the interview up here on this one. And yes, they have blacked out the names and only gave the ages and gender of these here males. Okay, so let me see. I got a few of these over here. Ooh, no, I didn't. Oh my goodness, how all this happening? I can't possibly be that far up. All right, let me just kind of munch down some of these here. Holy smoke, that's a lot. I'm so far behind. Okay, so where am I at? Way up here. All right. Where am I mouse? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna finish up over here after I put a few more of these here. Jacqueline, and I remember that, however, agreeing with Melanie, that's non-acknowledgement didn't seem to fit Quilla. It's also so confusing. Yes, and that's how you guys are right. It's how they keep you confused by changing up the stories. That's why I say when the new stuff come out, if it don't match up with the old stuff, right? So be suspicious on that. Be suspicious on that. All right, so let's go on and get finished over here. This is the last part of this here document. And this here, buckle up your seatbelts, right? So listen to this. This says, from Government of the State of Baja California, Sir, Attorney General Office, right? So this here is official from the Attorney General Office, Director of Forensic Services, Department of Legal and Forensic Medicine, regarding the necropsy report. You know, it says the pages here. Here's the file number. But here's the part that stands out as a dry bologna sandwich to me. Right here where it says San Jose del Cabo, Baja California, Sir, October 30th, 2022. October 30th, y'all already got the Attorney General. October 30th, she ain't even been gone for the full 24 hours. And y'all already got the Attorney General on a foreign body that hasn't even been claimed by the family. October 30th, y'all already got an autopsy report from the Attorney General. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what the Attorney General is saying October 30th on this here necropsy report on a foreign body that has not been identified by the family. All right. Maybe I should play. Let me just finish this up here. All right. So, sip of coffee, please. All right. Okay, so I'm going to just make a quick note here that this is the same name, Suni Jet. Wait a minute. They didn't change the spelling anyway. Suni Jessel Papacomillion, right? But this one's Jessell. But here, where the... All right, so this one here is spelled Jehsell. This here is the name of the interviewer. And so how is the interviewer, right? Now all of a sudden, the author of an autopsy report? For real? For real though? All right, so okay. These two don't match. It's two different industries. A physician does the autopsy report. All right, so here we go here. It says Sony Jessel Papaco Million, right? But it may, there's this, it's missing the letter here. It says criminal investigation agent assigned to specialized unit for the investigation and prosecution of miscellaneous offense by hand. Wow, that's a lot of hats, right? You see all them hats? They made sure to give this person's title, jurisdiction over all the stuff. So whenever they say, something, they say this person got special, they got special training, y'all, where they can do special things. They can do special things over here. Yeah, okay. So let's see here. The special things that they doing over here says the undersigned attorney Renee Aboroto Galvin Alciguro, export forensic doctor of Baja California, sir, district attorney office. Okay, so the other thing that makes this even more remarkable is that, okay, so they're saying that they got these other experts, right? They got this from, or this person undersigned. That's pretty quick, short notice, right? So hours later, not only did they, render this here autopsy on a foreign body that hadn't even been claimed yet, but they, was able to get get this person, pull them onto the story too, all within a matter of hours. Wow. Right? Why? Why did they find it necessary to spend Mexico's limited resources to do an autopsy on a foreign body that hadn't even been identified or claimed by the family? Why? Somebody tell me why. All right. So the undersigned, they're even saying this is an attorney. The undersigned attorney, Renee Adalberto Galvin Segura, expert forensic doctor of Baja California, sir, district attorney office. No, look at all this stuff here. So are you an attorney? But you're an expert forensic doctor. But I see there's no MD here. This is fake. This is fake. Look at all this baloney up in here, right? Look at all this information there. They're expert forensic doctor. First, they're attorney, expert forensic doctor of Baja California, sir, district attorney office, ID number, blah, 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 assigned to the Forensic Service Bureau, named to intervene in blank page assignment and MF 13 per office letter, issue this report. Issue. Examine and identify a cadaver. Since when do attorney identify and work with cadavers? When are attorneys working with cadavers? Who gave them the right to identify a cadaver? Hours after the person has expired. A foreign, unidentified, unclaimed body, they've done an autopsy by an attorney. All right. Examined and identified a cadaver, determined cause of death of whom, when alive, was named Robinson Shanquella Bernarda, female, apparently 25 years old. Determined approximate time of death. Make a detailed description of the external and internal injuries, as well as the other objectives of the necropsy following internationally accepted protocols. Materials: surgical table, saw, scalpel, thumb forceps, measuring tape, camera. Wow. So they're pretty gifted to do things with minimal materials, right? They were able to do CPR for hours with minimal material, with actually no materials, with no supplies, right? So here we go again with these lies, right? So they a surgical table. Where was this rendered at? And what is a thumb forceps? What's a thumb forceps? I don't know what that is, all right? Surgical table, saw, scalpel, measuring tape, camera. And that's why even list the materials, because that's definitely not all the materials that, is going to be there. Like where are the rest of the materials? But they didn't do all the research to know, because this is an attorney and then they don't do surgeries, right? They don't do this stuff here. Method: the analytical and deductive medical forensic scientific methodology will be used in this intervention. Techniques used: Virchow, Rotkiskansky, mixed photograph. Okay, so I don't know this here. Let me just look this up real quick. 1 minute while I figure out what this word means here. Where is that at? V-I-R. Let's see. Oh my goodness. See. Let's see here. Was a German physician, anthropologist, pathologist. Okay, so I guess they're saying that they used his technique, which he's known for cell theory, cellular pathology. All right, so it doesn't say anything about autopsies. This here, Vitro, is the father of cellular pathology. All right, so anyway, they put his name down here to give some clout to their story here. Okay, so this is the technique that they used here: mix photographing and video during the procedure. Techniques used: mixed X photographs, yes. Sampling, yes. Description: forensic, legal, or medical examination. Necropsy. I'm sorry. October 30th is when all this was rendered. Woo. Okay, so here we go. And just 9:30 that night, they were all going out to dinner because they hadn't eaten anything. So he's going out to dinner. All right. So anyway, but the next morning, they had already secured an attorney to do the autopsy, right? This is, attorneys do these kind of side hustles all the time, y'all. Yeah, because law school and med school are so close. I mean, like once you graduate, you can just, if you want to go off into law or medicine, the choice is yours because that's just how it is, right? Okay, so let me go back over here. That's the technique they use. So here, description: forensic, legal, or medical examination and necropsy. The cadaver was received packaged in a white plastic bag, duly labeled and preserved with a chain of custody registry, brought at 20:30 hours to the 8:30 hours to the autopsy table. What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They saying that the body through the chain of custody. Woo, Mexico is pretty speedy. So they're saying that they got the body at 8:30, and it went through all the chain of custody. A foreign body that hadn't been claimed by the family has gone through all the chain of custody to be getting an autopsy within hours of being deceased, brought at 8:30 to the autopsy table at the Medical Forensic Service on October 29th of this year. Okay, so now I'm gonna roll back up here. Like I said, we're gonna be long tonight because we're going back up here to mix it up. They got so many lies in this one little document here. So 8:30, the body's already, getting the autopsy. 8:30, right? Wait a minute, where am I? When up here, you see, so at 4:25, she might be needing the hospital, right? So that's not even that's not even 4 hours earlier, right? And when did they say she passed? All right, so she's still here at 4:30 according to this document. And let's see here. Where did I see? Did they say she passed at 5 o'clock or something? Let me see here. All right, so let me see here. Holy smoke. All right, so that's there, friends, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to look for the time when they said that she had passed. Call me, tell me the guest had died. Okay, so here we go. With no time on here. Call me to ask if an ambulance. Well, let's see here. When did they say that? All right, call to ask, request. Called me, told me, guest had died. Asked me. All right, so after 4:30 and let's see here. If I can find another time on here. I don't see any other time. But y'all, come on now. Even if this had happened in the United States where, we're a little bit more efficient, I doubt that within 3 to 4 hours, a person is already being, the autopsy is already being performed, 4 hours later. Even if we say that she expired at 4:30, right? Because, okay, so let's just say at 5. Because here at 4:30, she's still here practically unconscious, right? At 4:30. 4:30 practically unconscious, right? How then is the body already receiving an autopsy 4 hours later or less? 4 hours or less later. Who believes that 4 hours later Shanquella was getting an autopsy? Put a 3 in the chat if you believe that at 8:30 Shanquella was getting an autopsy from an attorney. Here, put a 1 in the chat if you think that is a dry bologna sandwich. If you don't believe that. A 3 if you believe that, less than 4 hours later, Mexico was rendering an autopsy on a foreign body that had not been identified by the family, that they were already doing an autopsy. All right, let me see. Let me get over here and see if folks is putting putting anything down here. Holy smoke. All right, so here we go. Oh, I got 1s. Oh, no 3s. Well, I don't believe that either, y'all. So I totally agree with the 1s. That's just way too fast. They should have the dates. Why did they think that we was gonna buy that? Right? And then it's going to be more insulting when we start to read through the autopsy. And it's like, if y'all knew all this, then y'all some sad, sick suckers. Sad, sick suckers. Hey, look at my girl. What's up, Tanya? Tanya says, yeah, tell the truth, RN. Miss you as I have been sick. You speak medical facts. Yes, I miss you too, Tanya. And I was looking at some old videos from way back in the day, and I was reading the chat, the live chat to some of those lives. And you were saying that way back then too. And I'm sorry I didn't hear you or see you in those live chats over there. Sometimes, it's a lot over here and I don't get a chance to read all of the live chats. And Tanya has been on top of this from the beginning, smelling through this and seeing those bones in these stories from the Mexican people. And thank you so much for your faithfulness and continue. Oh, did I get your wrench back? I can't see. Let me see over here. Let me see here. Oh, yes, my wrench is back. Okay, my bad. All right, so here. And then too, y'all, sorry about that. Here. What's up, Peggy? Peggy says, yeah, they were getting the heck out of there. This too is going to incriminate them in court because they lied asking for a ride to dinner, but was actually were escaping the crime scene. Yes. And were they escaping or did they just leave, right? What's up, Dangerous? Dangerous says at Jacqueline Davis, yes, there were 9 people there, the 6 guests and 3 staff members. Yeah, because there's one dude, one of these witnesses said that the chef and the waiter stayed there. So, yeah. Serge says, if she was driven to a hotel near the airport, she couldn't have informed the concierge that she had decided to check out, but that would give them the heads up that they were no longer around. Perfect plan. Yeah, I'm like this. Somebody else had mentioned that how did they get all of their luggage, right? Because remember, they came back with not only their luggage, but they also came back with Shanquella's luggage. So, somebody had to transport them with their luggage intact, right? So, right? Y'all with me? All right, so let's go on and get finished back over here because this is where it's going to start to get really obvious that Mexico just straight up lying. And they really think we're stupid. Really think we're stupid to believe this, right? That this attorney is also a physician who performs autopsies within 3 hours of the victim's demise. Not even knowing who the victim is, not even knowing if it is indeed something that needs an autopsy, right? Because it's not like everyone who passes gets an autopsy, right? So how did they, and especially if they ruled it out and said it was, no foul play, why are they doing autopsies so speedy, so quick afterwards? Why? All right, so let's get back over here. It says, examine and identify the cadaver, determine cause of death of whom, when alive, was named Robinson Shanquella Bernada, female, apparently 25 years old. Determine approximately time of death. Make a detailed description of the external and internal injuries, as well as other objectives of the necropsy following internationally accepted protocols. Right? You get no permission from the family. All right, so I already read that. All right, so the materials was the surgical table, a saw, a scalpel. They hear that on TV, right? They just recording some TV stuff. Scalpel, a saw, thumb forceps. I have no idea what that is. Measuring tape and a camera. All right, so let me skip down here to this description. Says the cadaver was received packaged in a white plastic bag, duly labeled and preserved. What does that mean, preserved? With a chain of custody registry. Brought at 8:30 hours to the autopsy table at the Medical Forensic Service on October 29th of this year. So at 8:30, Shanquella's body was already being at the autopsy spot. All right. Later, at 0900 on October 30th, we gathered at the autopsy table at the Medical Forensic Service to examine, identify, and perform necropsy on the cadaver of whom was called in life Robinson Shanquella Bernada. Physical description: age 25 years, sex female, skin color black. Now, how did they verify all of this stuff? All right, skin color black, anthropometry, stature 165 centimeters, approximate weight 65 kilograms, build regular, hair color black, tight curly, size short, hair insertions, high face shape, oval size, broad medium forehead, type rebound, size medium, forehead type oval, size small, hair insertion medium, eyebrow type, scarce tattooed, type thick, size medium, color dark, proximity, separate direction, horizontal, eye type oval, size medium, color coffee, nose type broad, size large, point rebound, size convent, base broad, nares type large. Woo. All right. Size, large lips, thick corners, horizontal, dentures, complete dental work, malformations, no. Ear type oval, size small, lobes unattached. Description of special precolorities, scars, no. Tattoos, yes. In right anatomic snuff box, a heart-shaped figure of 3 by 3 centimeters in the dorsal rein and left shoulder of the lumbar region is a female face and flower of 45 centimeters. Characteristic birthmarks or nevus? No. Description of post-mortem signs. Post-mortem. Lividity, yes. Located at posterior regions. Disappear when pressed. Yes. Rigor mortis, yes. Located at reducible cadaver spasm. No. Dehydration, yes. They're going to put that in there. Dehydration, yes. Coroners with black spots, no. Lower body temperature, yes, 20 degrees centigrade. Transformational signs, putrefaction, no. Discoloration, period, no. Emphysematosis, emphysema-mitosis. I don't know if they got the right word for that. What is that? Emphysema, that's a emphysema is a condition. And what is otis? They just making up words. It's not even a word. Clinical difference between, let me see here. It's a lung disease. Oh, I guess they're saying that she didn't have no lung disease. Okay. Okay, here. Skeletal reduction, no. Mummification, no. Maceration, no. Sponification, no. Cadaver entomophona, no. Description of external injuries. Direct contusion in the frontal region of the median part of 8 by 4 centimeters with hematoma. Direct contusion in the left iliac crest with a hematoma. Now, we have never heard of any of these injuries. And let me see here. I'm going to do it on this here thing here. The iliac crest, really? Okay, so, all right. Let me just finish reading. Okay. Iliac, okay. So she got hematomas on the iliac crest. And, okay, we didn't see any of that. All right. 7 by 7. And the family never described any of these injuries here on the iliac crest. The injury happened more than 12 hours before death. Now, how are they able to determine that these injuries, this is them trying to paint the picture that that there was more attacks that happened prior to what we saw in the video. This is what this sounds like to me. Like they're trying to say, look, here we had all these injuries here, and we haven't heard of any of these injuries. No one's reported on any of these injuries. Yet these are the top ones up here, right? All right, so here we go. I mean, this injury happened more than 12 hours before death. Contusion in the right iliac crest with a hematoma. All right, with a hematoma. Okay, with a hematoma. All right, so actually I guess I could even show y'all with the iliac crest. That's the pelvis area. This iliac crest. All right, I gotta think. Let me see. Let me show y'all real quick why they're even putting these injuries out here. Let me just iliac crest. All right, so all right. Let me all right, iliac crest. Let me come over here so y'all can see my mouse. All right, iliac crest is this thing. Can y'all see my mouse? This iliac crest is way up here. But this here, let me see. It'll be on this side for the Shanquella. Iliac crest is this bone up here. This is the pelvis area. Why are they talking about injuries here on these bones here? Why are they talking about that? Right? That's why I'm saying like this here is, bologna sandwich. Why is this being discussed? Why? All right, so let's get back over here. These people, this is crazy. All right, so back over here, we got some more. They talking about contusions to the iliac crest, right? Hematoma, which is like bruising. So they're saying that she had bruises all, down here on his iliac crest. And it happened more than 12 hours before the death, right? This is real, a lot of details in there, right? That they can say that this happened 12 hours before the death, these injuries here, right? Not only did they do a speedy autopsy, but look at the intricate details they were able to establish in such a short time, all right? And a physician was even present. All right, so here we go. Contusion in the right iliac crest with the hematoma 4 by 8 centimeters. The injury happened more than 12 hours before the death. So here we got a few injuries here that they're saying happened more than 12 hours before the death. Contusion in the left hand anatomic snuff box with a 2 centimeter hematoma. What is a snuff box? That's what they say, right? Snuff box? Let's see, a snuff box, a small box, or they're talking about something holding snuff. See, snuff box in medical terms. All right, here we go. The anatomical snuff box is a surface anatomy feature described as a triangular depression on the dorsal of the hand at the base of the thumb. Oh, they're trying to say something is in the hand? What? I don't know. Like, why is that? Why are they? Why does this make anything, right? Okay, so anyway, so she's got an injury to the palm part of her hand, this snuff box. Okay, all right. A hematoma in the left big toe. A hematoma in the left big toe. 1 centimeter skin excoriation, anterior thorax and xiphoid shows signs of defibrillator burns in a 6 by 5 centimeter area, and this is the only one with postmortem characteristics. Right now, what made them say it was a defibrillator burn? Shows signs of a defibrillator burn. Right? Does that sound like how they would document that? How did they know these were defibrillator burns? right? And this is where they're trying to, paint the picture at, right? So this more fake, right? So they give this these sizes here. This ain't even the right size. And this is the only one with post-mortem characteristics, right? So now when we were saying that, they didn't do any CPR, by them documenting this with the defibrillator burns, this here is put out there so they can prove to show that they did do CPR. However, anyone with any medical, like I said, I got over 30 years of nursing experience, and I used to work in trauma and the ICU, and we did a lot of CPR in there. We did a lot of CPR. And the defibrillator, you will get burned. Sometimes when we shock the people, sometimes, not often, but sometimes you can smell the flesh burn. You will get a burn, but that's rare. I think I've only maybe twice smelled, saw the person get the burn, right? But what they didn't count on is that you cannot get defibrillator burns on a post-mortem, because the defibrillator is not going to shock if there is not a shockable rhythm. You cannot just place the pads and shock. It doesn't work like that. Once you place the pads, the defibrillator is going to analyze, and it's only going to shock a shockable rhythm. Asystole or no heartbeat is not a shockable rhythm. So it's impossible that Shanquella could have received post-mortem burns, because it wouldn't have shocked. The machine would not have activated a shock. Okay? So these are lies. That is a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. The way you can tell is because it's too much details, and the fact that the machine does not work. It's not going to let you just shock. You can't do that. It has to be a shockable rhythm. It's going to say, no shock advised. It's not going to shock. It's not going to shock. So that's a lie. All right. But they're going to continue on. All right. It says the right eyeball has sclerotic internal hemorrhage zone. The right eyeball. The right eyeball. I thought it was the left. Should have been the left. Anyway, samplings, yes, there's cavities, vaginal, anal, nail scrapings, other blood samples for study, packed and given to the forensic chemical lab through chain of custody. What chain of custody? This sounds like if someone was, body was suspicious of a murder. Why are they taking nail scrapings and vaginal and anal and all this stuff? Why? If this was supposed to be alcohol intoxication, alcohol poison, why are we doing all of this? And why are we listing all this stuff? Why are we saying an anterior thoracic xiphoid shows, like this doesn't even sound correct. Xiphoid is a little area here, a bone here. And anterior thoracic xiphoid shows signs of defibrillator burns. Right? So I already told you can't shock, you can't administer a shock on a dead person. The machine's not going to do it. It's not going to do it, right? So they did all this stuff here less than 3 hours after, the person expired. They scraping fingernails and checking vaginal and anal orifices. Why? Why are they doing all of that on a foreign body that hasn't even been claimed by the family, the foreign family? All right, we're going to keep going here. We're almost through. All right. It says, samplings and given to forensic chemical labs through chain of custody. Post-mortem fingerprinting, yes. External examination of cadaver. Clothing, tank top black. Jockey brand size large. Purple shorts without size. Love University brand. No underwear without shoes. Okay. So this here information is put in here because remember they said they want to paint the picture that the Cabo 6 dressed the body. But again, these have contradictions because if she received defibrillator burns, right, and for them doing CPR, why did they redress the body? Because they would have taken the clothes off to do the CPR. You don't do CPR with clothes on. The clothes are going to be cut off to expose the chest. So if you're telling me, so did the Cabo 6 after they, pronounced dead and all that stuff, go back and dress the body again after the CPR? How many times did the body get dressed? Right? So it's impossible for her to show up with clothes on if she had been administered all of these rounds of CPR. She would not have had the clothes on. So did they dress her after they finished the CPR? When did they dress the body? Right? Because she would have had no clothing on for the CPR. When we're doing CPRs, no clothes. You need to expose the chest. Right? And then they say up here that she had defibrillator burns. So did they put the clothes back on after the CPR to try to cover up the defibrillator burns, maybe? Okay, so let me just keep on moving along here. All right, so then it says here, venocyclus in the right extremity. Anterior thoracic and xiphoid shows signs. They're saying the second time they're reinforcing this anterior thorax in xiphoid show. What is it? Anterior is the position, so that's front. Thorax is the chest area, and xiphoid. So they just gave some description here, but it's still, that's not how this should be worded. Shows signs of defibrillator burns in a 6 by 5 centimeter area. So it should be 2 of these burns, right? Because there are 2 pads that you place under the chest. So, and this is the only one with post-mortem characteristics. So it's important that they let us know that they did this CPR after she had already expired. But we know that that's a lie because you can't you can't administer a shock on a deceased body. It's not going to allow you to shock a deceased body. It only shocks shockable rhythms. These injuries can be seen before taking off the clothes. So now there's more indication here. Like, how is this even documented? It says these injuries can be seen before taking off the clothes. When did the clothes get back on if they had defibrillator, if they got CPR. So here are more contradictions. It's impossible that you administer CPR, burn the person, and then you put the clothes back on. So who put the clothes back on? The doctor who did the 14 rounds of CPR, who wasn't who's not a medical person, who didn't even bring any of these items there, right? Come on, y'all. All right, so then we getting there. Let's see here. This says internal examination, opening of the cavities. Okay, so now we about to see what they saying with the opening of the cavities. All right, so it says the cavities were open with the mixed technique, and this was found. Head, the frontal region of the scalp and muscles show a 12-centimeter hematoma. Skull, no info. Cranial cavity, no info. Brain weight, 12 grams. Brain matter, edematous, slightly congestive. Cortex, no. Relative info, central nervous system, ventricles, edematous, hemorrhage. Cerebellum, edematous. Brainstem, edematous. So they're just saying she's got some swelling on the brain here. The medulla oblongata, normal. Wow. Now, how is it that the medulla is normal, but we have edema on the brain stem? Wait a minute. All right, let me see here. Medulla. Woo wee. They shouldn't have tried to mess over here in the whole medical field. Y'all stick to the law over there. Do your thing, because, you can't, y'all sound ridiculous. Let's see, medulla. Because it's the same thing, this brain stem and the medulla. So how can one be edematous and the other normal? Let's see here. The medulla oblongata is the connection between the brain stem and the spinal cord. So how can brain stem be edematous and the medulla oblongata is normal? How? Excuse me, y'all. How? I mean, like, do you see what I'm saying? They're just spitting out stupid stuff. The brains, this is the same thing. So how can this have swelling and this doesn't? It's all the same piece. Right? It says the neck. The left lateral neck shows a 7x2 infiltrate with atlas and medullary dislocation thorax. Now, thorax is chest. All these locations are wrong. So, excuse me. We saw Shanquella being attacked on this left side. So earlier they were saying that the right eye had, the issues when it should be here on this left side. They're just spitting out terms that don't even match. This is bologna sandwich, y'all. Bologna sandwich. All right. I think we're almost getting there. All right. So, but this doesn't even list. It was 2 causes of death on the death certificate. And all this mumble jumble, all these extra details and all these pages and pages. Because when I first pulled this up last week or whenever that was, I did not want to read no 20, it's 18 pages. I was like, oh man, I was hoping it was going to be like one, maybe 2 pages. But when I saw all of that, I was just like, I didn't want to. But, y'all was there and everybody was like wanting more of it. So went through it. But I'm grateful that I did, because now I can see how that's exactly what they're counting on, is for people not to go through this and scrutinize it and pick out all of the contradictions. You cannot have an edematous brainstem and a normal medulla oblongata. You can't do it. Can't have defibrillator burns post-mortem and then addressed body. It's too much. Lungs, congestive basal edematous hemorrhage, cardiovascular system, heart, no info. However, someone else had pointed out earlier that they had said the cause of death was cardiac arrest. Earlier, remember? Back in November, Mexico was listing the cause of death as cardiac arrest. And here we see that it says no information, pericardium, no information, that they have no information, didn't do anything here 3 hours after the death to indicate, they got like too many stories going on here. Abdomen, no info. Digestive system, no info. Esophagus, no info. Stomach, no. Alterations, liver size, normal. Color, red. Gallbladder size, 10 centimeters. Consistency, normal color. Greenish. Pancreas size, 16 centimeters. Consistent. Normal. Spleen, 12 centimeters. Intestines, small. No info. Large intestines, no info. Genitourinary system, no info. Right kidney, no info. Left kidney, no info. Pelvis, bladder, no info. Well, they should have indicated some injuries here, since they were saying earlier that she has some issues with the iliac crest. That would have made this little bladder stuff, sound a little bit more, something. We should have seen some injuries here, since she had all those hematomas on her iliac crest, remember? But they probably didn't realize when they said that all that up in here with this iliac crest with all these hematomas and stuff, right? But when it come down here, it's all fine. That's what happened when you let these attorneys write these autopsy reports. Stay in your lane. All right, let me go and finish up here. Upper extremities, a 2 centimeter contusion in the anatomic snuff box. Lower extremities, in the left big toe, a 1 centimeter skin excoriation. And that's just like a scrape, or, excoriation is what are they doing? Backbone, no info. Wow. When the original death certificate stated severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, right? And they're saying here, the backbone, no info. When we could see on the video the obvious injuries to the back and the spinal column, we saw the alignment being off. We saw the fractures. We saw the contortion. We saw the damage spinal. And they're saying here, no info on the backbone. Osteomuscular system, no info. Genitalia, no info. there is a 20 centimeter area from the vulva region down to each thigh. Photograph, yes. Video, no. Evidence taken, yes. What type? Organic sample taken, yes. Blood sample from client test. The evidence or samples found were sent to rubber stamp seal, chemistry, toxicology, evidence room, illegible. Notes, comments, and special analysis. We can say the autopsy findings. Okay, see, hopefully this is the last page here. We can say, based on the aforesaid and the findings, that the cause of death of whom in life was called Robinson Shanquella Bernada, 1 was atlas and medullary dislocation, type or manner of death, violent. All right. So I'm going to take a break right there and say, if on October 30th, Mexico is telling us that less than 3 hours after the demise of Shanquella, that they knew it was a violent death. They knew this was violent October the 30th. They knew it was violent on October the 30th. But that ain't what they said though, right? Remember they told us alcohol poisoning. And they ruled out any foul play. Yet, conclusion, death was violent. Pre-existing pathology unknown. Time of death between 17-20 hours. So between 5 and 8 o'clock when the necropsy was performed. Okay, between 17 to 20 hours of when this was performed. Okay. Signs of survival. Yes. The cadaver shows signs of torture. No. Okay. Survival signs. Yes. The cadaver shows signs of torture. No. Determination if the injuries are post-mortem. No. We found defibrillator injuries consistent with resuscitation efforts. This injury is in the xiphoid appendix. It's the xiphoid process. And that's baloney. Okay. End of the necropsies, 11 hours. The cadaver was identified, yes. All right, so here is still seal. Translation service. This doesn't even look official, this here seal. All right, so then that's the rest of that there. All right, so that is the fake autopsy report, y'all. The fake autopsy report. I'm not even sure why they were talking about these injuries down here on this here iliac. I don't know what that is about here. I don't know, but they put that out there. All right, let me get on back over here and see how y'all doing in this here chat. See how y'all doing. Put my my other thing back up here. All right, so see here, what y'all saying, what y'all talking about over here. All right, let me see here, find a space. Hey, Renee. Renee says it was Cabo 7 there, and all of them did something, but I think Elise she's still mourning for her sister. All right, I must have missed a few things. What's up, Tina? Tina says they need to arrest everyone, put them all in jail, and throw away the key. Someone will start singing. Yes, and I agree with you on this. I agree with you on this. And I was just like listening to some of the old videos when there were attorneys saying that there's there's laws that we could get them here. Like there should be no reason why they're not arrested. No reason. So I'm just curious to know why did this get swept under the carpet, and why is America, why aren't we doing anything? Because on a lot of those older videos, we heard that the city that Shanquella lived in, supposedly looking off into it. Then we heard that the FBI got off into it. Then I had heard about the sheriffs in the city that Shanquella's from, on the case. So with all these different multiple law enforcement agencies on the case, why is it that no one is still arrested? No one has been arrested. Why is that? Why is that? And why are they trying to kind of change up the death certificate, the cause of death? And remember back in the day, I told y'all that we focus on the cause of death and we're not concerned about what report it comes from, if it's the death certificate or the real autopsy. But we know that an autopsy is not going to be performed by an attorney. That was fake from Mexico. All of their stuff has been fake. So I agree with you, Tina. These folks, somebody needs to be arrested. All right, here go a new name. Here says, Anonymous Lee says, 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., 12 hours. Nazir said he got there at 3 p.m. She was dead at about 5 hours. He run her head and played soft music. Yeah, he did say that lie too, right? And we saw that to be a lie when we were able to put the time of death up there in the morning time. So there was also some folks that pointed out that Nazir was there earlier than he had claimed to be. Let me see here. What Karen said? Karen said, RN, do you have an idea of how long their rigor mortis process takes? No. No. And it's different. Let's see here. I'll just put it up here. We can do a generalized answer for that. But let's see. Let's ask Google. Get the right numbers. Need to guess. So we could be on the same page with this here rigor mortis. Where you at? Oops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do a who's my person for the definition? Webster, Merriam-Webster's. Where are you? Where are you at? I'm so sorry. My bad. This writing is so little. Let me see here. Is this the definition? I just use this here. Everybody know Wikipedia. All right, here we go. Rigor mortis. right. Rigor mortis says the stiffness and mortis of death, or postmortem rigidity, is the fourth stage of death. It is one of the recognizable signs of death, characterized by stiffening of the limbs of the corpse caused by chemical changes in the muscles. Postmortem, mainly calcium. In humans, rigor mortis can occur as soon as 4 hours after death. So that would make more sense with the maid in the beginning, when we heard the maid getting there afternoon, saying that she was already stiff, right? So if she passed that morning, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so 12 would definitely put you in this whole state of rigor mortis here, because it says as soon as 4 hours. So hopefully that answered your question, Karen. If that's your question, see how. B Love says there's a lot more to this story. Yeah, I agree with you on that, because they are spending a lot of energy to try to cover this up and to try to respond to all of the questions that's come up as far as what's going on with this case. So I just think this whole little fake autopsy is it's totally ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. Oh, I missed that. Jacqueline says that Scott Smith, IMO. I forgot what these initials mean. Anyway, it may take whoever is investigating this case a long time to get through all of this tangled weaves of all of this mixed up information, phone records, interviews, before they charge anyone. My thing is this: they could look at the video, and the person's already been identified in the video doing it. We can match that up, and then the people that went there are accomplices, or they part of the whole thing. Like I've said before, I'm not very familiar with the law. However, I do know that if a group of people went to the gas station and one person had the strap to say give the money up from the clerk there, and the person that had the strap, one person was out in the car to me. I sound like Nazir putting the story together. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you. One person was waiting in the car, and 3 of them went in the store. One person had the gun. Person that had the gun decided they wanted to, in the person that was the cash register and take the stuff. When they get caught, all of them will be charged with the unaliving of the clerk, not just the trigger person. All of them, because that's how it goes. So I believe that the Cabo 6, all of them should be charged because they were part of it. Even the driver, right? The driver gets it too. The getaway driver. Nobody gets out of that. So is that what you was talking about, Scott, for Jackson here? Let's see. I'm moving around a lot, so I know I've missed a lot. Dangerous said autopsy was done at 9 a.m. October 30th. Yeah, I mean, that's still hours after they're doing an autopsy on a foreign body that hasn't been identified by the family yet. That's why I don't believe it. Dangerous, because it is too fast. And if they weren't suspicious of this to be, a violent something, why did they do an autopsy so fast afterwards? Yes. Cookies for Love says there's so many lies between the Cabo 6 and the medical staff. Who knows the truth? Yeah, like I said, there was no medical staff here. This is all between the police people that we've already known are, full of baloney. And see, I think I got some little short videos here where this dude is talking about, the police reports are custom made. So you got these custom made reports. Let me close out some of these boxes. Custom made police reports because they're going to be tailor made, right? And they had their little concierge to, get them everything they needed. They know them people was leaving, they getting up out there with all them bags, right? And that's why they was calling the concierge, who said that they do all kind of matters of all kind of stuff. We got you. What you need, we gonna get that. We gonna get that for you. Let's see here. Y'all was talking someone. Baby Queen said, "We ain't stupid." I heard that. That's how I'm feeling too. Like they thinking we stupid, right? It's almost an insult. It's an insult. They do. They thinking we on the dumb side. There's on the dumb side. See here. Vonetta Hall says, I thought the body was picked up on the 30th that morning. Okay. I don't know. They've had so many different stories. Yeah. I don't know. And I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. But even just according to the report, the facts that they gave us, we can deduce that it's a bunch of baloney. That they said that they received the body that night, and oh, that's what you're talking about on that the autopsy was done at 9 a.m. Because you said, but got the body there. Okay. Tanya said, "Gosh, we missed this." Which one on that baloney on the bottom of that thing there? Jacqueline says, "At Coffee Girl, people, or let's say the media, is saying Mr. Crump is their attorney. Do you know if that's true? Just asking." Yeah, because I think we also had the reports too that they're both. Because according to, let me see, pull back the letter. According to the letter, both of them, Sue Ann Robinson and Crump, I can't think of his name, are the attorneys. they're both working on it together, and it's a good thing too. So we need all of the help we can get. See, Tina says her parents had to give permission. Exactly. So if the parents didn't even know where the body was at, how did they, give permission? And two, who was going to pay for it? The autopsies cost money, and they don't just perform them on anybody, right? Got to be a probable cause, like a reason why. So Mexico, with their limited resources, is going to perform a speedy autopsy within hours of a person's demise. They're going to do an autopsy before the person is even identified and claimed by the family. They have a full head-to-toe assessment, autopsy with body cavities and all kind of everything is all done. It's been completed, right? No permission needed. They knew that this was going to be needed out there. Tane says, "Love you, RN, but I miss this new stuff." Oh, okay. Yeah, they put let me see. I may have it. Because Tanya is my girl from back in the day, and I love you too, and miss you too. And let's see here. When did we talk about? I I think it was on this here, No More Mexico. Because we was talking about that too. How, let's see, that the one? They did a march. They went to Washington to ask the president. I think this is it here. All right, this is a little quick one here. We're gonna pull this up, play this here. Wait, this ain't the video. Play a quick little video for our long time person here. That is, wait a minute. Tanya Carter. All right, so let me see here. Because that was on March, was it March 4th? Yeah, okay, so yeah, this is it here. Let me just close out some of these boxes. All right, so I'm gonna share this here in honor of Tanya Carter. All right, so that ain't what I want to share. This was on 3/2, March 2nd. All right.
This game.
All right, so let me skip that.
Can you at least fight back?
I don't even think that's Quilla saying no. I think that's one of those other ladies.
At least something. At least fight back, something. Get up, bro. Get up.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. That ain't what I'm trying to tell y'all. Stop that. Stop. That's not the one. I don't know where that one came from. Wait a minute. My bad, y'all. Let me get off of that. Supposed to be the family going to Washington, seeking high-level diplomatic intervention.
Did you know that?
Oh. Let's see. Maybe this is it. This will be my last attempt here. Then I'm just gonna send you back to. Oh, I know what I can do. I shall play the video that for my little thing here. That way I know what's on it. Go on up in here. And let me get a couple more of these here people. Phyllis says, you are out reading this right. What? At the top, that says the attorney got the report from the doctor and the autopsy wasn't done till the morning. All right, let's see here. Which is a bowl of, let's see, I'm going back here. Okay, let's see here. That ain't it. Okay, but this might be the one that you could see here, Tanya. Then we'll come back to that there because I read all of it. All right, this here is for Tanya. This here is a quick video. This here is Sue and this Robinson.
Occurred months ago. We're behind the ball, and the ball is in your court. So we need you to act swiftly in this case.
Hey, Griot fam, it's Jared Keith Gaynor, White House correspondent and managing editor of politics at The Griot. And I'm here with Sue Ann Robinson, Esquire, who is the attorney representing the family of Shanquella Robinson. Sue Ann, welcome to The Griot. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
You and attorney Ben Crump, on behalf of the family of Shanquella Robinson, recently sent a letter to President Biden and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, asking for the U.S. yet again to intervene in the murder of Shanquella Robinson. There has not been an arrest yet, and those who were with her in Mexico, as been reported, are still free and in the U.S. Why was it important for you and attorney Ben Crump, on behalf of the family, to continue this push through via letter for them to intervene in this case?
We wrote the letter so that we could close the gap on the administration's ability to say we didn't know about the case, we hadn't heard about the case, we can't intervene because we don't know what the ask is. So writing the letter and detailing specifically what the ask is, and obviously the background of the case, closes that gap for the administration to make that claim, and hopefully is a flag to let them know that they need to intervene in this case. I remember Natalie Holloway's case very vividly, a very emotional case. Every single day in the press briefings, her name was brought up in the press briefings. What's happening in her case? What's the administration's position on the case? And so our position is Shanquella's case should be receiving the same level of attention, the same level of intervention at the highest level.
And in this letter, there are specific requests to the administration. One is to turn over the suspects in the case to Mexican authorities. The other is to request a concurrent jurisdiction. Could you briefly talk about those, and which one do you think is more likely?
Well, we're asking the government to essentially extradite who Mexico has named as who they've named in their investigative report as their main suspect. We're saying, okay, if you don't want to do concurrent jurisdiction, you can agree to the extradition, which involves the Department of State, and have this person extradited and they can be tried in Mexico. Or they can request concurrent jurisdiction with Mexican law enforcement, do their own investigation, and then prosecute the people who, based on the investigation, are found to be responsible for her death. They can be prosecuted here. So there's two options. Obviously, we know about the traditional extradition where someone commits a crime in Mexico, a Mexican national, and then they escape to the United States. And then a Mexican national is extradited back to Mexico, or vice versa. A United States citizen commits a crime here and then goes over the border and escapes to Mexico, and they're extradited back. We recognize that this case is different in that the extradition would be saying to the US to turn over American citizens to a foreign country, to Mexico. And we understand that it is unusual, but there is protocol and precedent for it. But we're saying in the alternative, if based on the political climate, the administration finds that too difficult, Department of State doesn't want to do that. We've seen in the recent case, the kidnapping case in Mexico, which is different substantively, but it does show that US law enforcement can very swiftly coordinate with Mexican law enforcement to work on a transnational case. And so that's all we're asking for.
Thank you. So she's saying that the government, they already showed that they know how to get, work out a plan, get together, come together to make stuff happen. We want to know why, in this case, nothing's happening. Why nothing's happening? Why nobody has, picked up the memo?
For them to either extradite the suspect based on the Mexican investigation, or do exactly what they did in the most recent transnational criminal case involving Mexico, which is for federal law enforcement here to have concurrent jurisdiction with Mexican law enforcement and do it swiftly, because every day that's delayed in this case, unfortunately, justice delayed is going to be justice denied in this case, because every single day that passes, the evidence, the testimony, eyewitness recollection, those things dissipate day by day. And so that's really why in the letter we attach documents at all, just to say, look, this investigation occurred months ago. We're behind.
But they didn't even read through the documents to see that this. Wait a minute, am I sharing this? Oh yeah. Didn't even read through the documents to see that this stuff is, a bologna sandwich. A bologna sandwich. How am I getting so far behind on all these comments? God damn. Let me go and get this here finished.
Find the ball, and the ball is in your court. So we need you to act swiftly in this case.
Has the family or you as attorney for the family heard anything from the White House or State Department, even that they received the letter?
They have received the letter. And initially, after our press conference in Washington, D.C., they actually requested the materials. So the letter was actually a follow-up to the press conference.
And you mentioned transnational case. Can you briefly describe what is considered a transnational case, and what's the average period for these types of cases to be resolved?
Sure. A transnational case just means that it's a case involving two different countries, which have two different criminal justice systems, two different, obviously, law enforcement agencies, presidents, all the way down. And so it involves a high level of diplomatic intervention, which would mean that presidents would have to talk to presidents, heads of state would have to talk to heads of state, top law enforcement officials would have to speak to top law enforcement officials across the border in order to prioritize the case and push it through. I personally, went on a fact-finding mission in Mexico to speak to the Mexican authorities because the family was being ping-ponged between US authorities and Mexican authorities, everyone saying it's the other person. And I was assured once I was on the ground that Mexican authorities have completed their investigation, that they've submitted all that they're supposed to under the extradition treaty to the FBI and to Interpol here. And so they're essentially done what they have to do for extradition, and they're waiting on the US. And so that's why we're now saying, okay, we've gotten this.
I think Mexico is just saying that so it looks like, okay, look, we did all our thing. Now, they holding up the ball. And just like she said earlier, it's like they're just ping-ponging back and forth, to blame shift. And in the meantime, nothing's being done. And I'm curious as to why nothing's being done. And the fact that we need this high-level diplomatic intervention. So it's some high-level stuff that's going on.
Information from Mexico, and they're saying the ball is in your court. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
And obviously, at least from the media perspective, the video that was circulating on social media of Shanquella being attacked violently played a significant role in the coverage. How has that evidence impacted the case, in your opinion? And does the family have any idea what caused that violence that we saw in that video?
Oops, do that. Oh.
So was in fact the game changer for the case that changed the case for the Mexican authorities from basic reporting on a death from something that was considered alcohol poisoning to an active criminal investigation where they went back to seek out witnesses again to get statements and find out more information. Unfortunately, by the time the video came out, which was about November 15th, November 16th, the Mexican authorities saw it the same day, but the individuals, the travel mates, had already fled back to the United States the following day after Shanquella was declared deceased. So they couldn't obviously question them or keep them in custody or do anything like that to find out if, where, who, what, when, because they had already returned to the United States.
Obviously, I can only imagine as parents and family and friends who loved Shanquella Robinson, how they are in this moment. How are they coping, knowing that those involved in her death are freely walking the streets?
I think that it's very tough for them, especially for Shanquella's mother, because 3 of the travel mates initially came to her home and brought Shanquella's suitcase and offered their condolences and, you know, advised her that their daughter had passed away from alcohol poisoning. They never mentioned the video. They never mentioned that she was involved in an altercation. They never mentioned any of that. So it's very difficult to go from what you think you trusted these people that were traveling with her, what they said, and then to see a video with a completely different story.
Yeah.
And then, of course, to see the results of the autopsy that says that she died from a spinal cord injury. So it's been a very tough time. Some days are better than others, but obviously the longer that justice is delayed, it causes more and more frustration for the family.
And, you know, let's say that President Biden, you know, called you or the family of Shanquella on the phone today. What would you say to the president?
We would say to the president that we need you to get the Secretary of State to contact Mexico immediately to either ask for concurrent jurisdiction so that our law enforcement can start their own investigation, or extradite the person named by the Mexican authorities to Mexico.
And if the FBI got on the case back in November, what more is it, you know, and then not only the FBI, but the local law enforcement in the area, you know, all these different law enforcements have stated sometime in the past that they are on the case. So I just don't see how nobody has been arrested if so many different entities, law enforcement is involved with, just like Ben Crump said, with so much visual evidence, all this visual evidence out here, why ain't nobody been arrested?
So that they can prosecute the person and let them have a trial there.
And anything else we should know about this case and the work that you're doing on behalf of the family?
I think that what the family really, what we've had to battle a lot in this case is misinformation, a lot of misinformation. And so I think it's so important for platforms like the GRIO and factually based journalist organizations. What you guys are doing is so important, which is making sure that the right people that are actually involved in the case, that the facts about the case are getting out. And that's very important to the family because they're not accustomed to being in the public eye. They're not accustomed to having to speak out. They've been thrust into this while they're also grieving their daughter. So having to grieve your daughter, speak up and find resources and ways to find justice for her, and then also dealing with misinformation as well has been very difficult. So we appreciate platforms that are obviously.
All right, so that was that dated like 8 days ago with stuff that's happening there with Shanquella's attorneys. Dangerous said femicide. When y'all finally figure out why Mexico charged femicide, then you will understand why this case will never be trialed in Mexico. Just matter. JMO. What that mean, y'all? Somebody help me out with this young people talk here. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Ain't that right? I know I'm right? Just my opinion. All right. Is it because, okay, so before we go there, since y'all bringing it up, we ain't went down this road in quite a while here. So let's see here. Femicide. Let's see here. What is femicide and why Mexico charged with the femicide? Why is that? Mexico femicide. Let's see here. Yeah. Please elaborate, Dangerous. Why? Because I have you see here. Why y'all think that? So let's see, when you finally figure out why Mexico charged with the femicide, we didn't broke down the femicide. Let me throw that definition up there for the people that may not know, because I know that before this case got started, I had never heard the term femicide and was not aware of its meaning. And so when this came about, we did, let's see here, why is my stuff here failing? How come you can't go with dictionary definition? Holy smokes. Dangerous femicide. Yes, here. Here we go. All right, so Dangerous says femicide. When y'all finally figure out why Mexico charged femicide, then you will understand why this case will never be tried in Mexico. Just my opinion. All right, so we're going to see here that the definition of femicide is the gender-based murder of a woman or girl by a man. Gender-based murder of a woman or girl by a man. So this says that, right? And so that was the reason why in the beginning, the transgender people were, putting that out there, and there was talk about that. So you may be mentioning that. Then we had people that said that that's not what the definition means in Mexico. So we had to do a little bit more research. And I came up with Mexico's definition of this here femicide. And I'm going to share a screen, let y'all see what that is. Is it here? Here we go. All right, so then, so we saw there that they charged Dejanay Jackson with this here femicide, which is the murder of a woman by a man, right? So that's what was a clue that gave people reason to believe that it was a transgender. And here is what Mexico says about femicide. The Mexican government definition of femicide. In Mexico, the term femicide refers to the murder of a woman because of her gender. This includes cases where the victim is killed because she refuses to comply with certain gender roles or expectations, or because she was perceived as a threat to the male perpetrator's sense of power or control. Right? Then here's some, just give some more cases. So Mexican definition is saying the same thing, that it's a situation where a woman is murdered by a man. And it even gives more details as far as like refusing to comply with certain gender roles or perceived as a threat to the male, right? So, yeah. And one of the reasons why I think you were talking about Mexico not wanting to do anything about it is because Mexico has a very soft space in their heart for transgenders. And I have a video here I'm going to show y'all why that is. And I think that's what you're talking about, Dangerous. If you got some more information, please share that with us, because we all want to be on the same page. On the same page. You see here. That it there. All right, while I'm looking for it, let me go over here and read some more of these here comments. Let's see, Sylvia said, usually when a person is unalive, the phrase would be no pulse, no respirations. Yes. Look, Cabo 6, if y'all have nothing to hide. Yeah. You think maybe they wanted her organs? Just saying. Y'all, the reason why I don't think they harvested any organs because, like I said, I've been a nurse for more than 30 years, and I've worked in so many different departments. And when we would harvest organs, you still have to be alive. You have to be signed off as brain dead by 2 physicians, right? That means that you don't have any brain function, but the rest, your heart is still pumping. And so that's how we can get the organs out. Cannot, transplant dead organs. So basically we're keeping the body alive, keeping the body, around until those organs can be surgically removed. We take those bodies on the ventilator to surgery and, to keep the heart pumping. We're dripping drugs into their bodies to keep the blood pressure up. We're making sure that their blood chemistry is, staying pristine so the, organs don't get spoiled. It's, if they're going to, sell someone's organs, the person still has to be alive. So after you're gone, your organs are going to be dead. The only thing that we are still able to donate after a person's already expired is like tissue or corneas, for the eyes, you can donate that. But as far as like kidneys and heart and lungs and all those transplant, the person is still, body is still alive. So I know a lot of people be worried thinking that, they can just take your organs out of you. No, when they are harvesting the organs, it's a big team because they have to now get the person who is, going to get the transplant ready for the surgery. So when they're taking the parts out, there's literally a helicopter nurse ready to receive, or a flight person that's going to take possession of the organ. It's going to be put on ice and they're out to, get that where it has to go. But the person who's giving the donations, body is still being kept alive, functioning, because, you want to perfuse all those organs on the ventilator and with drugs that were dripping into their veins to keep a blood pressure and to keep the heart, pumping strong and all that stuff. So I know a lot of people be worried about that kind of stuff, but no. And see, Scott says, about to lay down for the night. Have a blessed night, everyone. Oh, I know, huh? It's already after 3.5 hours. Let me see. Let me read off a few more of these here things. And dangerous comment really got me looking. I know. Let's see here. Yes, Deborah, worth 45 miles. Okay. Also, Anonymous Lee says, you can have a light pulse and be unresponsive, but Quilla was completely dead. Yes, because we know that the death certificate states the cause of death is severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, and that the life expectancy after receiving that injury is 15 minutes. So all that about, she was, kind of unresponsive, or all this little vague talk that they were doing are lies. There was no signs of life if anyone came after, that morning time. So I agree. Yes. Unspoken voice inside media says, remember the paperwork that Mexican reporter present on the legal attorney show. This is where we first was introduced to this Mexican reporter and whose understanding resume, working in the media. All right, so let's see here. Remember the paperwork that the Mexican reporter presented on the legal attorney show, the lead attorney show, I'm sure you're talking about. This is where we first was introduced to this Mexican reporter. That's, well, I think he had already done interviews on some other YouTubers show too. However, this is where I found out about him, was on the lead attorney show. Mexican reporter, and whose outstanding resume, working in the media. Let's see here. Sylvia says, Ben Crump did a press conference today at Livingston College to address Shanquella Robinson case and the inaction of the U.S. Oh, okay. Let me see here. I did, where is, my, oh, today is this day here. No. Of the new stuff. Did I even show something new today? I'm lost. I haven't been on here for 3 hours and 40 minutes. Did I? I don't even remember how I got started here. That's not it there. I think this is it. No. That ain't it either. I'm getting sleepy. All right, so let's see here. Unspoken voice inside me says, Ben Crump is just trying to give him a bag on a civil suit. Well, he's a voice, and, you know, we are at least hearing something from the White House people by having, Tanya says, that's it, Black. Yes, I was a miss. Sylvia says, at Unspoken Voice Inside Media, maybe so, but Shanquella Robinson's voice is being heard. Yes, it is. I agree. Stop waiting on the government and hire private hunters to escort them to Mexico. Anonymous Lee says, however, I really do think that dangerous is correct. I don't think Mexico is interested in doing anything. You know, we had discovered that, you know, Mexico got their own problems with femicide in their own country, and that they don't really prosecute their own people there for unaliving the women in their country. So I just don't see us getting our hopes up for Mexico to, you know, prosecute and extradite and to, you know, imprison some Americans for unaliving an American Black woman at that too, right? So let's see here. Scott Smith says, wanted to say that the video stays with me. Can't get it out of my mind. So horrific. Yeah. Exactly. Unspoken Voices Inside Media says he should have sent that documentation to the State Department as evidence, process the warrant arrest between two foreign countries. Yeah. And these animals need to be locked up. I agree. How did I get back up here? Deanna says, at Sylvia, I saw that. I was upset that the White House said they would meet in April. What a effing joke. What a joke. Yeah. You know, April is almost here too, y'all. So, you know, they can't keep ignoring us for too much longer because, you know, too many people are saying, like, why isn't something done? Like, this doesn't make any sense that, you know, even as, you know, protect society. How are you letting this kind of a criminal just walk around? Excuse me. Walk around. That's just a scratchy throat. Walk around with no problems at all. All right. So, all right, I'm gonna read out a few more of these, and then we're gonna call it a night. And oh, I know what I wanted to say. So since now this stuff is starting to happen, we're starting to see more stuff in the news, that this is the time that we want to be diligent about showing our support, standing up for justice for Shanquella Robinson. And so I'm gonna, put out some more like clips and stuff like that, just to keep the algorithm showing that we're putting out content for Shanquella, and be consistent with that too, y'all. Y'all know that I'm working. I have a Turo business with a few cars that I'm, managing and all that stuff too. So not to make excuses about the time factor, but I am pressed for time. However, like I said, I will process a lot of those older lives and to provide this platform so, those of y'all that's like Giselle's and people like that can come, drop the links for those petitions, and people like I saw Karen, in here getting energy together to, bring groups together to seek the justice and all that stuff, so we can use the space for that too. And I'll be doing more of that. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified whenever I upload a video or go live, which I'm going to try to go at least 3 times a week. At least 3 times a week. Or if nothing else, me going 3 times a week, I don't know how I would be able to like set a real time, because I'm going to just go whenever I do have the time. But I do have some off days, and that's when I'm going to try to go. However, on the off days, I'm doing the business stuff too. And this too, I have to make time for it. All that to say is that it's time now for us to get up and start to lift our voices and to continue to show the support. So I'll be putting more stuff out there, and I appreciate all the engagement that folks have been putting out there, because it helps to keep the name out there in the algorithm and growing the community and all that good stuff. So let me see. Do a few more of these, and then we'll say good night. Oh, it's 1 a.m. All right. So I didn't even realize it was that late. It was that late. That it is that late. Let's see here. Deanna says, here you can have if you want, and we aren't doing anything. And quite frankly, being they haven't charged the concierge, yeah, and only issued 1 warrant, we should be appalled and take GT. You see, Karen says, please don't tell me the meeting schedule for April 4th was a joke. B-Love says, jail them here until they can be extradited to Mexico. That's what I'm saying. Like, there should be no reason why they aren't detained, right? You've just been, on video participating in, a murder, right? Something, you should be detained. All right. So anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in and all that good stuff, and like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in another video soon. And like I said, look for the videos to come out there for the engagement, all that good stuff. Love y'all, and thank you so much for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Keep it hot for baby girl here. So we standing here to get the justice, and we love you, Shanquella, and I love y'all too for all the support. Peace and love. And so